Some of you are new, some of you are repeat offenders, some of you have been hanging out in the TCA group a little bit too. So, really awesome to see you all wherever you are in the TCA world. You are welcome. This is going to be a jam-packed session today. We're going to be talking all things teen coaching today, of course. Whether you're a traditional teacher in the school system or you're a bit of an unconventional teacher as well, like a lot of us, or maybe you're a youth minister, a sport coach, a tutor, let me know in the room where you're sitting right now. Maybe it's a bit of a combination, but type those titles in the chat. For me, especially when I first started, I was a school teacher, I was a tutor, I was a basketball coach, I was a church youth minister, and then, throw cousin and auntie into the mix as well. And so let me know in the chat, where are you sitting right now in both your life and your career? Let us know what you're doing. Cool. If it's school teacher, own it. Okay. Predominantly, most of us are school teachers, but you'll notice as well in our world, I'll share a few stories today. A lot of us aren't, and you don't have to be a teacher. It definitely gives you a unique advantage. And if you're not a teacher, you get to hang out with a lot of teachers, which will give you a bit of the inside scoop into what's happening in schools today, which a lot of life coaches don't have that advantage. So you're definitely in the right place. And if you're a basketball coach, netball coach, tennis coach, they all count. Cool. We're going to leverage what you already have in the space. Amazing. Keep going. Keep that chat rolling through as well. Yeah, we've got a bit of a combo, which I'm not surprised. How much do we do for free, guys? Let me know. Type free in big fat capital letters for me. I know I've done this for so many years and I've given away so much for free. And I love that about you. And I love that about myself. You're now going to start getting paid really well for a lot of the things you used to do for free. If you're ready to claim that, type in claim it. Because all of those years of studying and servicing the community and volunteering and putting your hand up for extra tasks and leadership in schools, etc., it will pay off for you. Your heart is in the right place. For us, we're going to be talking about both impact and income today. I don't want you to feel embarrassed or guilt for charging high ticket, because in our space in Teen Coach Academy, I'm all about the high ticket space. We are the leading training company when it comes to that. There are other schools that help people work with kids for sure, but they're not in the high ticket space for whatever reasons. But I wanted to claim that because if anyone is meant to get paid a lot of money, they're school teachers. If you agree, type agree. And they are one of the most lowest paid jobs in the world. With the rise of inflation, with the rise of costs, household living costs, and all that other good stuff happening in the world right now, the teacher wages have not moved that much over the last few decades. So we're not going to wait for the system to change. We're not going to wait for the system to save us. We're going to actually start creating our own world when it comes to teen coaching, because we can. That's my main argument today. Because I can. So type in I can today. Pretty please. They're both made up. Whoever made up the school system, and we can go back decades and decades, they just made it up. Whoever made up the rules in schools, they just made up rules. So why don't we just create new rules for ourselves today? And once again, the reason why we do it is because we simply can. The market has arrived. Now, for the most part, we all have shared problems in the room. So if you feel like you're the only one with this limiting belief, let me reassure you, I've gone through all the levels of limiting beliefs. I still have my own from time to time, because the imposter creeps at every level. The imposter doesn't go away. It's just dressed differently depending on where you're playing in your career. So all of us in the room are experiencing the imposter. Type imposter for me. All of us, including myself. That does not go away. So don't ever create this unresourceful narrative that because I have imposter syndrome, I can't move forward. Imposter syndrome to me, and I trust you're writing notes already, imposter syndrome to me is validation that I'm on the brink of another breakthrough. I'm on the brink of another up level in my life. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. Because if it doesn't scare me, then I'm probably too comfortable. And complacency will cripple our success in both life and our career. We already know if we're comfortable, we're not going to move. We're not going to ponder. We're not going to think. We're not going to get resourceful. So if you're feeling that the imposter is creeping, congratulations. You're exactly where you need to be right now. So we're just going to lean in a little bit today. Who you hang around in this market is extremely important. As I said before, there are a lot of people who do what you do, but they don't charge high ticket. Things change for you when you start listening or hanging out with someone else that charges $5,000 for 12 weeks. That's crazy to a lot of teen coaches that are just first starting out. And I get that. You might not be there just yet. You might be thinking, well, what if I was to charge $10,000 or $20,000 a year for what I do? Who, like, let me know if that'd be a goal for you. Maybe not right now, but over the next 2 to 3 years, that can happen for you. But you got to be in the right rooms with people that are charging these prices. And it's very easy for us to fall into circles and being judged and criticized and someone telling us, oh, you can't do that. I've heard that so many times. You can't coach teens. Who's with me? Type in me in the chat. I've had mentors in the beginning who told me, do not touch the teen coaching space. There's no money in it. Well, I'm glad I didn't listen to them, right? And I ended up becoming their top student in their mastermind as well and proving them wrong, which is also like, it's always a good thing to prove people wrong. Your family, your friends, they are going to want to keep you safe. When they see you struggle in business, which you will, they'll want to cuddle you and make you feel safe. So we're not going to go to family and friends to get business advice around charging high ticket. You might want to seek support, but when it comes to getting business strategic advice, if they're not helping you to empower you, you need to protect your boundaries. Type in boundaries for me. Uncle Sam, who has never coached teenagers before, has no place to give you business advice about teen coaching. Your mother, who's never stepped into a classroom before or has no idea about what's going on in the school system, has no place to give you critique your strategy when it comes to Facebook. Your best friend, who wants to stay in teaching for the rest of her career, has no place to tell you how much you should charge for teen coaching. If you needed to hear that today, type in me in the chat. Your spouse, who has no experience with business, no experience with social media, no experience in enrolling someone at high ticket, has no place to tell you you can't do it. It was a huge lesson that I had to learn in the beginning. I used to go to family and friends for validation all the time because I was such a high achiever. I'm a go-to in my family. I wanted to make sure everyone knew that I was going to do well. And then I had to get over myself. And that's what's hurting a lot of our coaches in this market. Go to your family and friends for other things, not business, unless they have experience and they've mastered what you're after. Cool? Are you ready to commit to that? Type commit. Protect your boundaries, guys. When I hang out with my Teta, and a lot of you have seen her photos online, my grandmother, she still asks me today, Lenita, are you okay? Are you sure you're making money? God bless her soul. She's 86 now. They're just curious and they want to make sure you're okay. And when I never open up business advice, a business talk unless someone asks me how things are going, but I never ask for advice. I hire the right mentors, I be in the right rooms, and when I extract from family and friends, they're for other things regarding family, health, cooking in the kitchen. That's what I'll go to my teta for advice when it comes to cooking in the kitchen because she's a master at that, but not in business. So learn how to extract from your circles. Type extract for me. Learn how to extract in Teen Coach Academy. We have a beautiful blend on how to coach, how to build a business, how to scale to 6 figures with a virtual team. Learn what you most need right now and learn to extract. You might not take everything right away today. You might not use everything inside practitioner either. But when you learn how to extract, that 2 mm shift will move mountains for you. A common trap a lot of people have inside TCA is they binge watch everything because they just want to complete everything. Are you guilty of that? I know I am. Typing guilty. But know why you're watching things, not just so you can finish the course. Go out there and get clients. Go out there and coach. Go out there and post on social media. Don't just go watch the school's course because I'm curious about the schools course. Unless you're in a stage right now where you're going to be speaking in schools, then prepare the school, like sit down and actually watch the schools course. So it's a seasonal thing of what you're extracting inside TCA. You got plenty of time. For those inside practitioner, one of the perks now is that you have 3 years. I've extended it. You have 3 years minimum inside practitioner. So write that down. This is going to be a beautiful reminder with all of you. You have so much time to extract everything, but learn what's immediate right now. That's a lot of time too, right? So the type in 3 years, like spend at least 3 years in our world. And it's very cost effective. It won't break the bank. Because a lot of you who already know that are inside practitioner, was the investment a huge surprise to you, type surprise? I don't want this to be a scary financial journey for you. We just come in, it's digestible, spend at least 3 years on this, and you walk away with a six-figure skill set. Cool. We'll explain a little bit more about what that looks like today. But let me know, team, who went to college or university? Type in me in the chat. Or maybe you've studied courses elsewhere as well. Type in study. A lot of us have committed years already to studying for a career with no guaranteed income and no guaranteed job at the end of it. That's pretty crazy when you think of it, right? That's just what we're conditioned to do. I know I didn't question that in the beginning. I put my hand up as what was I, 17 or 18-year-old out of high school. I committed 4 years to my university degree to study to become a teacher, and I had no guaranteed job at the end.
Zip code
And
we
I
get
made
all
no money in that industry. I was
code
working part-time in other jobs, but when it comes to actual teaching, we put our
we
hand up for no guaranteed job at the end of it. There's two things that I want you to take away from that. One, I want you to commit at least 2 to 3 years in this industry to really make a dent in it. And what I mean by that is with TCA. You stay in my world long enough, you will reap the rewards. But number two, you don't have to wait until you graduate Teen Coach Academy for you to make money. You can be making well up to 6 figures and walk away with over $100,000 cash earned while you study practitioner. Does that sound like a good deal to you? Type in deal for me in the chat. That's what I want from you. If you were to only spend one time inside practitioner, it's a one-time investment. Some of you upgrade and access me at one-to-one at certain levels, and that's okay too. That's an option. But if you never did that and all you did was invest one time to grab practitioner and you actually committed to doing it, you certainly can walk away with over $100,000 cash earned. And if, let's say, you weren't doing that and you walked away with 50K, it's still a good deal to me. It's much safer than what we all did in the beginning through university. Cool. So that's something that I want you to really look forward to. So you don't stay where I was in the beginning, where I was an unfulfilled school teacher. Don't let the smile fool you when it comes to this side of the system. I was severely burnt out. I had a quarter life crisis. I started questioning my life. I was like, what on earth am I doing here in the school system? I knew straight away that I didn't want to stay there. I was frustrated, I was underpaid, and I was burnt out. And if you feel that, type in feels for me. I was an extremely good educator. I always backed myself. Skill sets were never the problem for me. My heart was in the right place and I was good with kids. But I just didn't feel like I was belonging in the school system. And I would look to my mentors at the time and I was like, I don't want to be like this. So I moved much sooner than maybe a lot of educators did. And fast forward, I've been doing this for over a decade now. This skill set will allow you to make 6 figures a year, working anywhere between 5 to 15 hours a week. It's a part-time income, excuse me, it's a part-time job on a full-time income. If that's goals for you, once again, type in goals. It might take you 2 years to get there. It might take you 3, it might take you 12. I don't know. But what I can guarantee you is you have the model and the skill set to move forward and actually make it happen. But something that I want to share with you today is life's going to test you when you make that commitment. Even today, you've made a commitment to be here in this Zoom room. Life's going to test you. You're going to have distractions from family. Some of you may need to come out of the Zoom room and pop out for a little bit and look judgment free, right? But think about the distractions that come to you every single day that's swaying you away from the dream that you want to have, the dream lifestyle that you want to have. Constant distractions, constant family concerns. My biggest stress in my life, my biggest stressor in life is family. Who relates? I love my family so much. I'm extremely close to my family, and I'm a carer for my grandmother, and I'm a go-to for a lot of people, and I don't have to be. I'm the grandchild. I'm the grandchild in the family, right? I don't have to do a lot, but I take on a lot of responsibility because I want to. But with that comes with a lot of stress and anxiety and commitments that do tend to get in the way unless I develop the right boundaries that allows me to build both. Be there for family, but also grow the business. And you can. Type in I can once again. This is not about sacrificing your personal life to make more money. This is not about sacrificing your nervous system to make more money. We're going to build this so it suits you. Cool? Anywhere between 5 to 15 hours a week. Love, love, love. And then you can become even, I'm way more present now in my family because of the way I actually build teen coaching. Teen coaching can help you pay the bills, can help you go on holidays. It's extra cash to prepare for your retirement. Things like that, that we're helping our practitioners with. Okay, so you just think about what's that extra cash? Get out of debt. I've had one-to-one, my one-to-one clients. They look successful online, but some of them have been in debt, credit card debt. Teen coaching has allowed them to get out of debt. So then they can focus properly on making an impact and preparing for retirement. What would that do for your life? Because once again, I know you're in the right place. You want to help teenagers, but let me help you today. Because when you're thriving and you're in a prosperous state of mind, you're going to become such a better teacher and coach for teenagers out there. So let me be your bodyguard. Coolies, type in bodyguard for me. I'm so protective of you guys, and I think that's more of a cultural thing for me as well, growing up in a traditional Lebanese household, but I'm very protective of you all, and I want to make sure you're being self-full and not neglecting yourself just because you want to help children. There's a better way. We call that teen coaching. Be my bodyguard. I love it. Okay, cool. So write this down. Teen coaching is my ticket to freedom. Whatever that freedom looks and feels like to you. Okay. Lifestyle, family, financial freedom. We just need time together. That's all. Stay in my world long enough. I don't want to put pressure on your nervous system to say you can make 6 figures in the next 12 months. You can, but if you're new or you're not online, it may take longer. And the average runway for our coaches who have crossed 6 figures, and I'm saying like 100K cash collected, the average runway is 18 months for those that are already coaching. So if you're not already coaching, be conservative. Give me at least 2, 3 years with you so we can help you make extra income and walk away with at least 100K. Do you love this approach? Is this a relief? Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. I don't think I'm your first coach or mentor. I'm sure you've been in a lot of rooms who have sold you a lie. The hype is real, guys. They'll promise the 6 figures, but it depends on the season you're in. It depends on how you want to run the race. You know, previous mentors of mine they still promote me, which is great. It's a beautiful compliment. I love being top students in people's masterminds for that reason as well. But they market my story and it's so misleading because I went in as a school teacher. I went in, for example, with at least 50K earned. So if you've earned at least 50K, you have a very good chance to make 6 figures over the next 12 to 18 months. But if you haven't, that's okay. Give yourself 2 to 3 years. But the hype is real, 100%. So be mindful of what hype is actually going to serve you today. So think to yourself, what actually inspired you to get into teen coaching? Or let's take it back a little bit. What inspired you to actually work with children in the first place. And for me, when I think about what's inspired me, it's a combination of moments in my life where I got to experience very amazing, beautiful support from adults that mentored me. If you're feeling that, type in feels. There was a particular time in my high school career or a particular person in high school that really made a huge influence on me. And he was my basketball coach. Still remember him from this day, Mr. David Walsh. And the way he showed up was just different to all the other teachers. And he wasn't even, at the time, he wasn't my classroom teacher. He was my basketball coach. And then come grade 10, he ended up having me for design and technology as well. And so I got to see him as both a teacher and a sport coach, and he just did things differently. When he first met me for the first time and I had him in as a classroom teacher, he actually called up my mother to introduce himself, to say, hey, I'm Lanita's teacher this year. I just want to touch base, make sure you know if you need anything, we're going to be here for you. Like that really sparked something in me. And my mother appreciated that so much. And that really inspired me with the way I work with teens today and how close I am with families and why I want to go above and beyond with parents and phone calls, etc. But Mr. Walsh, he really, really moved mountains for me. Now, it wasn't just that as a teacher. I was a teenager who grew up with a sole parent. Mum did a lot on her own. Unfortunately, I didn't have a dad growing up. Dad decided to walk out on us, and I just didn't have that opportunity to have a male figure in my life. And so when Mr. Walsh would show up for both me and my mum, you can only imagine what that would do for a young teenage girl. You can only imagine what that would do for a sole parent mother as well, especially seeing that in a male. So big love to the men in the room as well. We need more of you in our market, especially for people that are going through divorced families. So for me, and I was what, 15 or 16 at that time, I still remember Mr. Walsh and the way he mentored me in basketball. And that also inspired me to become an elite athlete and play basketball at an elite level. But I don't know where I would be if those seeds weren't planted when I had Mr. Walsh. So I dedicate a lot of my work to him till today. So today I want you to start reflecting, and I want you to honor the person that may have had a positive impact on you. Maybe it was in school as a kid, maybe it was throughout your adulthood, maybe it's now through things that you're going through in your career and in your relationships, etc. It could be a family member, or it could be someone that's maybe a colleague in your career too. We're going to sit in reflection, and I actually want you to honor that person who had a positive impact on you growing up as a teenager and why. This is going to be important because I want you to feed back into that energetic state. I want you to draw inspiration from that person. I want you to model their approach. I want you to bring their approach into your teen coaching world. And for those that are online, I want you to talk about it and create a post and shout them out if that makes sense for you. Cool. So there's many reasons why this activity is extremely important today. Goodness me, it's just the little things, the simple things that we want to amplify in the market. You're going to learn very quickly that all of you are doing a lot of the things that teen coaching is about. We just haven't called it teen coaching for so long. But being seen, helping teenagers feel seen, that's an outcome. We sell. We sell intangible outcomes, and we can make a lot of money for that unapologetically. There are so many people that aren't heard and seen today. There are parents who will be willing to invest in that. They're not mothers. Mothers are not seen and heard in their households all the time. You come in as a coach that holds that space for them. There are different reasons why someone will buy from you. Bonus today, please write this down. There are different human needs. Significance is one. When you're able to resourcefully provide significance for your clients, they will pay you for it. They pay for proximity all the time. And that's what we do as teen coaches. We sell proximity. Don't think you're just selling a program. right? Practitioner, think about practitioner in a moment. Yes, traditionally speaking on paper, people are like, oh, that's a certification. Yeah, sure it is. But what I'm doing is I'm providing you proximity to me and everyone in TCA that's making a dent in education. That's what you're investing in. If you feel that type in feel, that's what I want you to do for teenagers and parents. Sell proximity, sell being seen, being heard, holding space, building rapport. And we're going to go a little bit further on into what those competencies will look like for you as well. But fair to say, you probably already do all of that and more in your households and in schools and in camps. Our favorite part of working with children gets neglected in the school system, when in reality, in teen coaching, it's everything we're able to do. Our favorite part of teaching can be teen coaching. Your favorite part of youth church ministry can be teen coaching. Your favorite part of working with kids on summer camps can be teen coaching. Your favorite part about helping kids get into college is teen coaching. And a lot of it's going to be the mindset and confidence piece. Awesome. Are you excited? When people's like, oh, you charge that much? I'm like, hell yeah, I charge that much. Because I'm not only helping one teenager, I'm helping mum and dad and maybe a sibling. Because all of us are that good at what we do. So a traditional life coach, I'm not playing on a traditional life coach level. You're not playing on a traditional life coach level either. You're going to increase. You're going to get to the next level. And a lot of you will raise your prices today just as a result of being with us in the room. And so congratulations in advance. Coming back to essentially what teen coaching is and speaking on that note, it's a beautiful blend around what you already love doing with teenagers with a bit of competencies that we'll throw in from a practitioner level as well. So depending on where you're sitting right now, you're either starting our world, you're seeking our world for the first time, okay? So if this is like your first event with us, maybe this actual summit is the first ever thing you've actually invested your time in, then you're at the seek level, which a lot of you are. You've dabbled in something. You've either purchased one of my books, you've purchased maybe preliminary or practitioner. And so you're at the starting phase. You've actually made a commitment financially, whether it was low ticket or high ticket. You're like, I'm in. I've actually started to do something and buy into our world emotionally and financially. Now, a small group of you, you're at the scale stage. You've been playing in practitioner for maybe the last 1 to 2 years, maybe less. And you're like, okay, I actually really want to turn this into a business. I want this to be a high income skill, and I actually want to potentially go full time with it. So you're at the scale stage. Some of you are receiving my support around hiring virtual assistants, helping you with getting your leads. You're treating Facebook like a business card now. So you'd be at the scale stage. Let me know, team, where you're sitting in the room, because this will all help all of you. You're either at the seek, start, or scale. Let me know. Now, what's really cool in our world that you can start and go up and down whenever you like, okay? So it's not a cookie cutter method. A lot of you that are scaling, you're still in practitioner and you're utilizing practitioner and you're studying and getting certified at the same time while you're getting clients. But a lot of people that put their hand up for this will not follow through because life just happens and life's going to test you. But you just got to hang in there with me. Awesome. When it comes to teen coaching, you're putting your favorite blend of what you help teenagers with. So when I first started, I thought to myself, okay, I'm a summer camp counselor. I'm a school teacher. What do I actually love doing? I love communicating with parents. I personally love working with parents. So think about that. What can that look like? I give parent check-ins so they can check in on their kids, see what's going on. Remember, there's only rules, there's only guidelines, no rules here. So I hope you're taking down some notes. Think about how you want to structure your coaching. If you don't want to see the parents, then that's up to you. I will always encourage you to see the parents whilst you also coach the teenagers. What do you want to actually work on? Is it confidence, mindset, college success, tutoring? We definitely have tutors that are also throwing coaching into the mix. But I need you to make those decisions today, just to start with something. You will build as you go. We have so much inside Teen Coach Academy now, right? That coffee shop menu that I've showed some of you before. We help you scale. We help you speak in schools. We help you get certified. We help you get your first client. We help you be seen on Facebook. There's just so much in our world. In the beginning, that wasn't the case. So just start with one thing. Is it mindset? Is it confidence? Is it college? Let me know that one word. What's that one thing that comes to mind that you can help teenagers with that you enjoy doing and that you probably already do? Type that word. That's where I want you to start. Don't overcomplicate this journey. A lot of us waffle too much in the beginning. Oh, I help and you try to come up with this definition. Don't worry, I'm guilty of this. Don't try to be so polished and perfect. The less polished you are, the better in our market, which is going to challenge you as an educator. Because I tried to look very perfect as a school teacher because that's what we're conditioned to do. You got your suit and tie, you're very corporate-y for those that are in corporate world as well. Don't laugh too much, don't hang out too much, don't be unprofessional, don't be too friendly with the kids. I'm very friendly and professional at the same time. And you can have the best of both worlds. But don't try to be too perfect. If someone asks you what you do, say, hey, I help with teenagers with confidence, but I'm very curious about what you're looking for as a family. That's it. Simple. Because if they want you and they're curious and you're showing up online, they will also have enough trust to actually tell you what they want. Awesome. So less waffling moving forward. Now, if they're curious around, is it only finances, Cecilia? Is it only college, Taylor? Trust your prospects to lean into you. And when they watch you through Facebook, they will learn about your world. Cool. So we've got the simple definition, but that's not enough. You need to be seen and posting online to educate your parents about who you are and what you do. Who you are and what you do. And where most coaches sit in the market is this is what I do. This is what I do. It's boring. People can chat GPT what you do. Is that fair to say? But show me who you are. And that's what we're going to bring out today. Who you are as a person and demonstrating that on social media. That whether this is a part-time income or full-time income, it's a huge non-negotiable for you to be seen and show parents who you are so they can buy proximity and invest at a high ticket level. The only exception to that is if someone's a referral and they know you offline, but that's not as scalable as we'd like it to be. Our insurance policy moving forward over the next 3 years or more together is to build your online presence. Once again, life's going to test you when you commit, just exactly like how it tested Carla. Who knows Dr. Carla? A lot of you do now. I drill her story in a lot. She's one of our inspirational stories. A prime example of an assistant principal in her case. She did not have Facebook when she met me. She was like almost non-existent online. Severely burnt out, wanted a different path, wanted to get into coaching, came across us and started to implement Facebook from like literally zero. A lot of you are way ahead of Carla when she first started, and you actually have Facebook. So if you have Facebook, type in Facebook for me. Whether it's a personal page that you're using for business or not, let me know. But we're talking, let me teach you what she got right. Facebook personal profile, not a business page, pretty please. Why a personal profile? The organic reach is extremely important. Okay, she was already helping teenagers. Came in, grabbed practitioner as an additional resource to leverage what she was already doing. And then from there, we grow her list. We're going to be talking about this a lot as well, but what Carla got right was the pro bono campaign. Be seen online, invite parents to a consult, offer pro bono for the teenagers, re-sign to paid. Rinse and repeat. Now, in Carla's case, she kind of fought that pathway a little bit in the beginning. It took her a good 6 months before she finally committed to pro bono with me because she used to run masterclasses and they weren't working. And so we flip the model. Okay. So if you feel like you're struggling a little bit to start this, your first step is to offer free coaching to parents and teenagers. Send a text message to family, send a text message to friends, make a post about it online, send some DMs, whatever you need to do because you're committed. I will do whatever it takes. Type it in, whatever it takes. This is my ticket to freedom. This is my ticket to make a dent in education. I'm hungry. Awesome. Whatever it takes to do this, because I can't afford to get in my own way. I need to work through the emotional resistance because that's the reality here. Can you agree? The strategy is there. I teach it to you all the time inside Practitioner. Offer free coaching, resign to paid. What gets in the way is our energy, our emotional stories that we've picked up from somewhere. And that's okay. We're only human. We need to work through the resistance to go and do whatever it takes to help the community. This is a personal development for you, not just a business course or business coaching. And I laugh about it a lot. Like, I'm not your business coach, I'm your life coach. I laugh about it with my one-to-ones. I'm not your mentor, I'm your therapist. And my one-to-ones in the room will know this from time to time. And I love that because your personal resistance is what's going to get in the way of this market. I can guarantee that 100% because I've lived it. So borrow Carla's approach, be seen on your personal profile, and offer free coaching. So action step for some of you or all of you in the room, okay? I want you to walk away with some action steps today. If you're not on Facebook, you're going to make a commitment to send text messages to family and friends to offer free coaching. They might ask you what it's about. That's okay. Have a coffee, catch up, give them an idea. It's free coaching. I need some guinea pigs. Don't put too much pressure on this. It's free. Okay, so if they don't like it, don't worry, they haven't paid for it. If you're on Facebook, you're going to make a commitment to either make a post, or for a lot of you that are already posting, go and send those DMs. Hit the list. Have the courage. Type in courage steps for me. You need to train yourself to get used to rejection. That's if you want to master sales and you want to make a lot of money in this market, and you will, you need to master learning how to be ghosted and rejected every single day. Till this day in my marketing, I get rejected every day. Most people don't move. That's okay. I don't take that on anymore. So my strategy hasn't necessarily changed. It's been maybe refined over the years. But what's changed is me, my internal work, my nervous system, my reaction. I had to change. I had to make it less about me and more about the kids. If I don't send this message today, there's a child that's going to miss out. That's the narrative that I want you to borrow. If I don't show up on this Zoom call, this kid or this family is going to miss out on that potential of where they want to be in their life. And what a disservice that would be. Now, once again, this doesn't mean ignore your health or force yourself and hustle and burn out, right? Like, be discerning with it as well. But assuming you're in a good place emotionally, you're doing the work, stay hungry and get out there and make it about the community and less about you. That's what's going to make you six figures. Type in six figures for me. That relentless hunger and tenacity and discipline, that's what's going to make you a lot of impact and income, not just the strategy. We've had a lot of people come through Practitioner. We've had a lot of people come through TCA. We've had over 500 coaches to date, probably more at this point. But not everyone succeeds. Not everyone makes six figures. There's a common trend in people like Carla. Tenacity, hunger. I can't coach you on hunger. You need to bring it. Whatever it is, if you're used to living in survival mode, harness it. If you don't have a plan B, harness it. Because I need you to stay hungry. My first ever client at the time was my 13-year-old cousin, my first guinea pig. I'm going to get him on my podcast very soon. He's in his 20s now. Who would like to see that, actually? Type in me. But Anthony, when he was 13, I needed a guinea pig. So I texted my auntie. I said, hey, listen, this is what's going on. I'm getting into coaching. I want to practice a little bit. Are you open for me to coaching Anthony for free? She's like, yeah, of course. It was too easy because my auntie trusted me. Was it perfect? No, of course not. I was terrible when I first started. I wasn't that great. I was great building rapport, but I didn't know how to coach back then. I needed to learn the skill. And of course, that's why we built practitioner now. But we used to just hang out. We used to go for ice cream, hot chocolate. I'd practice a few things on him, and then basically my auntie gave me a testimonial. And that was it. And let's say you don't even go through family. A lot of my school students were my first testimonials. I just removed their names. I taught hundreds of kids in schools. So I would just create case studies and talk about them on my Facebook. So a lot of you have probably helped a lot of kids already. Is that fair? Type in fair. Sit down in reflection, create a bit of a list. Your top 5 or 10 kids that you've met in your lifetime that you've helped, they're the first 10 case studies that you can go and talk about on your Facebook. But it just takes a bit of time and skill to sit down in the space, to sit down and actually talk about them and write the post. And it's not that hard anymore. You can go into ChatGPT and you can say, hey, I have a 15-year-old student named Sarah. I've helped her with 1, 2, 3. Write me a Facebook post. Done. It's easy, easier than it's ever been, right? Easier than it's ever been. But what's hard is you having the courage to own the fact that you're good at what you do, and I'm going to go talk about it on my Facebook. Is everyone going to pay attention? Of course not. You're posting for parents and buyers. Write that down. I post on Facebook for parents to become buyers. I'm not posting on Facebook for my Teta. I'm not posting on Facebook for my mum. I'm not posting on Facebook for my sister. They're all there. I'm posting to get buyers. And that alone is going to change the way you behave on Facebook. Coolies, who's feeling empowered? Drop some fire emojis in the chat. And if you don't like who is on your Facebook, well, I think a lot of you you're gonna know what I'm gonna say. If there's someone on your Facebook that you don't want to post in front of, what do? Let me know in the chat. Dale's on it. Type it in. We want to know. Facebook is for your business moving forward. Doesn't mean you have to always talk about business, better lifestyle at the same time. But if you're not happy with someone on your Facebook, you know what you do? You delete them. They can come back later. If they're hating on you, they can come back later. But I can guarantee you, no one's going to delete you. No one's going to hate on you. And if someone you're not happy with, just delete them. Cool? Who's already feeling like they're growing as a person and as a leader in this room? Type in me. You are already doing this, guys. You're already doing this. It's called team coaching. Leadership, building rapport, holding space, communicating with parents. It just might look different for all of you depending on where you are in your life and your career. But carry the auntie, put the uncle cap on, put the auntie cap on, put the teacher cap on, put the coach cap on. You know, like you're already doing this, but you now need to start calling yourself a teen coach. So before we go into a bit of a break, I actually want to give you a little bit of a bit of another exercise. Actually, I want to set the tone for the day or for the next segment because this is real. The imposter. When you start to succeed, which you will, and you've already started to, you will question yourself. Life is going to test you at this next level. Life's going to test you over the next 2 hours with me, by the way. If you agree, type agree. So I want to train you to trust yourself to handle the outcome. If you forget everything that I teach you today, or you forget everything that I give you inside practitioner, if you just learn how to trust yourself when you take action, you will make moves in this lifetime. In your personal relationships, if you're a parent and you've got your children, your finances, obviously getting clients and making money. I just need you to trust yourself to handle it. How confident would you be with someone if they just said, give it to me and I'll handle it? Let me know. Would you feel pretty confident with that person? Type in yes or no. because that's the infectious energy that I need from you to translate that through into your conversations, your coffee chats. And you all feel that with me, I'll handle it. We'll handle it. Because business and coaching, it is about putting out fires when you think about it. Working with children and families, it is about putting out fires. So who's going to be the leader in the room? It has to be you. So yeah, 100% Sven's on it. Test me. Bring it on. I can handle it. I'm way stronger than I think, or I'm way stronger than I give myself credit for. The only difference now is you do it when you don't react and feel like you're walking on eggshells. You step up to the challenge in a very calm way. It doesn't trigger your nervous system anymore where you're out of whack and you're not regulated. Cool? So if you feel like you get extremely anxious and nervous with Facebook or clients, that's okay. That's just validate. That's just feedback that we need to still work on your certainty. Type in certainty. I back myself 110%. It wasn't always the case. And sometimes I question myself, but it's how long I stay in that state that's extremely important because you're going to have bad days. So this certainty exercise is what's going to get you out of that horrible state that you all will continue to experience. So if you're ready, type in show me. I want you to sit in reflection and I want you to make it up because we have two types of beliefs, empowering beliefs and limiting beliefs. They're both made up beliefs. We both picked them up from somewhere. So if you're going to borrow any belief, borrow the one that gives you certainty. We're not harming anyone. We're not going out there acting crazy. So just borrow a resourceful belief that helps you feel certain. So this is what we're going to do today. This might be the first exercise, first time you do this with me, or the second time and you go deeper. I want you to list down on your piece of paper 10 reasons why parents would pay you to coach their teens or themselves. But I want you to be specific. And I want you to importantly lead from your heart, not just your head. Tell me things that I can't find online. Tell me things that you think no other person's going to say. Why from you? Why from Marcel? Why from Dale? Why from Katie? Why Cecilia? Why from Taylor? Like, I want you to be very clear on what you stand out with, less about outcomes or less about programs, books, and all that stuff, and more from your heart. This is extremely important because there's going to be a lot of people in this world that want to see you lose. They might not say it to you, but there's a thing called tall poppy syndrome here in Australia that when you start to excel and level up, other people try to hate on that success. That's real. From family, friends, teacher friends, colleagues. If you feel that type in feels, everyone loves you when you're on their level, but when you start to succeed, you'll really know who your real friends are. It's true. But let me reassure you, it ain't lonely at the top. There's a lot of us thriving at the top. Alrighty, it ain't lonely. So don't worry. If you need to shed a bit of weight, a bit of dead weight, dead energy, or just put boundaries in place because you're starting to win, necessary. Learn to extract. You got your teen coaching buddies over here. You got your family, friends, and acquaintances over here. They don't all have to be in the same bucket. But when you're winning and you want to talk money, success, helping people, replacing your job, making more money than you ever had in your life, you come to the teen coaching clique and we talk about that because we don't want to drag you down. We want to bring you to the next level with us because there's always a next level. Type in the chat, next level. And Carla understood that. Renee understood that as well. Renee was actually our first six-figure student ever. Teacher, tutor, eventually charging and increasing her rates. She literally went from charging 1,000 to then 2,000, then eventually 5,000. She even got $10,000 clients. Type in 10,000, not right away. Remember, Renee is another example of spending at least 3 years in my world to get there because she just had to build the certainty, build the self-trust, own it, claim it. That's one client at $10,000 because she also started to talk to parents who see value, who get resourceful. I need you to believe that there are parents out there, but you need to believe in yourself first. And it comes with this certainty list. You got to back yourself consistently. Now, it's not just about writing it on paper. I need you to toot your own horn a little bit. Are you ready for the challenge? Type in ready for me. Life's going to test you. And this is an example, this prime example of life's going to test you. See, it's not enough for me to tell myself I'm really, really good. I want you to model and demonstrate it in front of people because they're not going to come to you and say, oh, she's amazing. You need to demonstrate it. If I stay quiet and I don't reassure you that you're in the right room, you're probably not going to be in the same room as me. And that's what great leaders do, great marketers do. They demonstrate that they're actually really good and they follow through on their promise, of course, right? You don't just want to be a great marketer, you want to be a great coach. And so all of you are doing really good at what you want to do with teenagers, but you need to show people that you're really good. You need to tell people that you're the best. That needs work, right? Type in yes for me. You probably don't remind people that you're the best because you're humble, because you don't want to show off, because you don't want to boast. And I get that. And it's got nothing to do with being any of those. This is about reminding parents that if they're looking for someone, they should come and look for you. This is literally a prime example of taking courage steps because your business is not going to be perfect. Life is going to get messy. You're going to get challenged at every level. And the more you excel, it's not going to get easier. You just get stronger. I know you've heard that before. We're putting out fires. The other day with one of my one-to-ones, her VA was not up to scratch. You know, and I hire and train virtual assistants for you, or you like a lot of you know that if you're my one-to-one client. Her VA was just not up to scratch. And so we had to get rid of her. You know, she fired her VA, and that's just a fire we have to put out sometimes. But what's really great about my one-to-one support is we literally rehired, or excuse me, we just got a new VA within a few days and training a new one for her. But they're things that you will need to handle at some point when you're looking to scale. You know, a virtual assistant helps you get leads on Facebook. They help you manage your Facebook so you don't have to feel like you're living on Facebook. Your business still runs, but we plug a VA in there to handle a lot. And I know some of you are experiencing that right now, which we're going to definitely give some shout outs a little bit later on to those who have had the courage to hire virtual assistants. So on that note, I actually want to acknowledge one of our practitioners in the room. They know I'm not going to do this, so thank you in advance for being open or like sorry in advance for putting you on the spot. But I want to acknowledge this particular person that joined practitioner, I would say probably not even 2 or 3 months ago, probably just under 3 months ago. Very new to Facebook world, very new to the teen coaching world, but she's not new working with kids. She comes from like a formal accounting slash financing career, but has worked on summer camps with kids, has also worked with kids as a tennis coach. And in the beginning, she had a bit of a limiting belief around, am I not qualified enough to get into practitioner? Thankfully, we obviously helped solve that for her. Practitioners there, if you ever feel like you need some extra skill sets. But for this particular person, what really stood out to me was not that she had the credentials. We can fix all of that. It's no problem. What stood out to me was her courage to believe in herself, especially because she doesn't come from a traditional school teaching background. And so within the first month of practitioner, put out the posts, announced pro bono. And I know she was very nervous in the beginning. It was like really nerve-wracking and has never done it before. She created one post that announced the idea of free coaching, and she received tremendous support. Like her community rallied behind her, and we were sitting on a call, and it was a little bit emotional because we didn't realize, or she didn't realize at the time, how much support she was going to receive from family and friends that wanted to just see her win and congratulating her on making the post and excited. They even wanted to share her Facebook post with their friends. And so today's award is the Braveheart Award. And I actually want to shout out Katie Anderson because huge, huge congratulations to Katie. Drop some love in the chat. This goes to you, Katie, because this wasn't just about, am I qualified enough? And that conversation will always be in our world, but this is about you having the courage to make the post and trusting yourself to handle it along the way. I'd love to. I know I put you on the spot, Katie, but how are you feeling?
Thank you, Lenita.
You're
Wow.
so
That
welcome.
was, yeah,
This is so
it
cool
was,
for you. This is gonna be yours.
that's some,
I'll send it through.
wow.
And yeah, how do you feel?
I was not expecting that at
I
all.
know.
Complete shock. Yeah. So thank you. But yeah, you helped me. I remember that call. We did it. I knew how to post the Facebook
Yeah.
post, but I think I teared up in front of you. I was like, yeah, I was not expecting it at all. So
Big love to you. I
yeah,
Can you
wow,
take us
thank
back a
you.
little bit with how you were feeling when you first joined maybe practitioner or when you were doing the post? Just for those in the room that may have they're not there yet, right? They're probably contemplating on making a post or joining. Well, yeah, what's on your mind? Take us back there for a
Yeah,
minute.
I was so nervous because I felt underqualified because I'm not the tradition, like I don't come from the teaching background. But it was always something that I wanted to do, but putting myself out there was the toughest thing because I haven't posted anything in years. Like I think I would just say thank you to everyone for the birthday wishes.
Yeah.
And so putting myself out there was pretty tough, but you helped me yeah, overcome that. And now I just got to keep posting more
Yeah, awesome.
things. So,
Huge congratulations
yeah,
again. Thank you for that
thank
share.
you.
Oh, I know I put you on the spot, and
But
so
yes, no, everyone, yeah, you can do it with, yeah, Juanita's fantastic. Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate it. Got another love heart for Katie in the chat. What's really cool too, team, is naturally for a lot of us, just like if you're like anything like Katie and I, we're introverts. Who's an introvert in the room? Let me know. Because I know I'm not naturally someone that is the loud person. If you ever meet me in person, which some of you have, I'm actually very quiet. I'm the quiet friend. If you see me at a party, you probably wouldn't even know I'm there. Like I don't like the attention. I don't like to be that person like in the center of a dance floor. Like if you ever go to a wedding and you see those people, you know those people, type in yes. I'm not that. Like I'm on the side, right? And so that my personal nature, I'm very introverted. Katie is very similar, Taylor's very similar. And so what I had to learn in the beginning was I can still be my introverted self, but I can do it in a way that still allows me to be seen. The way you're being seen matters. So, we don't just want you to be a loudmouth online, right? Those coaches and gurus, they just all talk and they don't follow up. The house lights are on, excuse me, the lights are on, but no one's home. That type of person, that's not you or I. We have substance, we're going to follow it up. So, if you feel like you're quite introverted, that shouldn't be a reason why this can't work for you. A lot of introverts do well in our world, especially with sales because we talk less. If you're the person talking the most on sales calls, you're not going to, you lose on sales calls when you talk so much. On sales calls with parents, you let them talk. You just ask the right questions, which would give you all those scripts on how to run sales calls anyway inside practitioner. So if that was a nice relief for you, type relief. And if you happen to be extroverted, cool, awesome, own it, right? You need to create the meaning that's going to help you win. Create the narrative that's going to help you win. Because this is all about just borrowing certainty when you think about it. And if you're not confident just yet, borrow my certainty until your certainty kicks in. When you watch each other's videos, borrow Taylor's certainty until yours kicks in. Because it's only a matter of when, not if, in our world. Just stay in our world long enough and you will reap the rewards because we're taking the right action steps, right? I'm confident that I'm teaching you the right action steps because there are a lot of coaches that are consistent, but they're not executing the correct steps. Like Carla was doing the masterclass on the front end, it wasn't working. We had to change it to the pro bono campaign, and that's what got her to six figures. Same with Renee. Renee was pushing group coaching, and she didn't have a lot of clients. And I don't know where she learned that, probably from somewhere else in the tutoring space. We had to fix it. Group coaching comes on the back end, not the front end. One-to-one free coaching, enroll them then into one-to-one paid, and the downsell is group coaching. If that was an aha for you, type yes for me in the chat. Group coaching still has a place, but it's not, the front end is high ticket Because I'll pose a question to you. If a parent was sitting in front of you today and they had $2,000 to pay you for one-to-one, let's say hypothetically, or they had $500 to pay you for group, which one would you onboard? Assuming everything's built correctly, you feel confident in delivery, and you build it the right way where you don't burn out. Would you take the 2,000 or would you take the 500? Let me know. 100%. You'd take the 2K. 100%. We all would, unapologetically. And I want you to, because you've got someone that's willing to like almost throw the money at you. When built correctly, and that's what we teach you once again, one-to-one coaching, when built correctly, and you don't do it where you're burning out, one-to-one wins every day of the week. Awesome. So group coaching definitely has a place, but with Renee on the back end, not the front end. In my opinion, it takes the same amount of energy, if not less. So with Katie's case, Carla, etc., think about this for a moment. Certification follows your experience and your worth, not the other way around. Certification is something that you celebrate yourself with. You gift yourself with certification because you've earned it. Does that make sense? You've earned the place to be certified, not I want to get certified because I don't feel good enough. Think about that for a second. This is a gift to yourself. Certification follows your experience and your worth, not the other way around. If that's a beautiful reminder for you, type beautiful for me, because we're lifelong learners. Practitioner is not going to be the last thing you ever buy. You're going to buy again and again and again, whether that's in our world or someone else, because you're a lifelong learner. So don't ever put unnecessary promises on yourself that you know you're going to break. Like, I promise I'm never going to buy a course ever again. That's unresourceful. You're going to break the promise. As I said, you're a lifelong learner. So don't put that pressure on yourself. Celebrate that about yourself. That buying another course or another certification or hiring another coach, it's a celebration. It's a gift to yourself. It's an investment in yourself. Awesome. Same with your parents. Parents are going to come in and some of them are going to sit and say, hey, look, we've hired so many people. We've hired tutors, we've tried counselors, therapists. You know, we don't want to keep spending. And so I want you to help communicate with them that this is an investment in your child. No parent ever regrets investing in their children. They just have to see the value. As I said, team coaching, you're co-creating this with your clients, okay? There's so many focus areas. Team coaching can be absolutely anything. Awesome. Yes, no problem to Nancy in the chat as well. So welcome and joining us. The focus areas can range from, and we've all heard this before, mindset. It could be college. It could be confidence. It could be tutoring. So many things. It could be marriage. You could be helping parents with marriage. You could be helping teenagers with relationships, anxiety. The list goes on. Fair to say. You just have to choose one, start with one, and then move on to the next. Finances, from Cecilia's point of view too. So remember, this is just guidelines. What you need to do is you need to get loud. You need to get loud about teen coaching, because our market compared to life coaching, it's still quite a baby niche. So you'll naturally be asked, what's teen coaching? Especially for our Aussies in the room, this is more common in America than it is in Australia, and you have a prime opportunity to be one of the firsts. And I've been doing this for over 10 years, and I still get asked, what is teen coaching? So remember, we come up with the definition, but your moral obligation is to get loud about it. Type in loud. What is teen coaching? I help parents with mindset. I help teenagers with confidence. But we co-create it as a family. And then all your content and branding is about creating necessary hype in a genuine way and being loud. Teen coaching, teen coaching, teen coaching. Like, drill it. Because here's the truth as well. You think your prospects are watching you. You think your posts are landing. Most of your posts don't get that much traction. Most of your posts are not being seen. So the reality is you will need to post for longer periods of time and be consistent over years, not just this month. You know what I mean? Like from an organic point of view, most of your audiences, unless you're hacking the algorithm the way I teach you with your virtual assistants, most of your posts are not being seen. And so we need that consistent compound, the right strategy, and just relentless dedication over a longer period of time. And just don't leave the market. Assuming you stay in alignment, don't leave. I've seen too many coaches give up over the last decade because whatever they put unnecessary expectations on themselves and they weren't met, they got upset and they decided to change niche. Now, if you're anything like me, I'm extremely emotionally attached to this niche. It's an extension of my life. So I'm relentlessly dedicated to getting louder about this. So these keywords, I want you to think about how you're going to co-create these outcomes with the parent. Co-creation. You sit down with the parents and you figure out what do you want. So the next time you talk to a parent, whether that's on a consult or face to face, tell them, we have all these areas. I'm curious, what do you want help with? Now, my only recommendation when you do this team is if there's a one particular area that's out of alignment and you don't help with, let's say marriage, don't show them marriage. Okay, change it. So someone like me and you that have a wealth of experience, can you see now how you've got multiple points that you can touch on? Because we're life coaches. We help with so many different categories of life. We can even change marriage to helping them navigate puberty, for example. Can you see that now? There's different areas because that's life. Life comes with different categories and you can help them with, but the responsibility of the parent is to meet you halfway and choose in this season of your son or daughter's life what's immediate. So, for example, in Taylor's case, if she's coming across kids that want to get into college and they have to focus on their essays, well, in this season, college is the outcome. We want to get you into college. But in the next 6 to 12 months, it could be anxiety, and we can change the goal. We can move the goalpost. So once you get someone in your world, continue to future pace, move the goalpost, achieve outcome one, move to outcome two. Are we tracking here, team? That's team coaching. The hardest part is getting them in your world. Once they're a client, future pace and re-sign. So think about this. The first 12 weeks is about college. The next 12 weeks, we focus on mindset. The next, after that, relationships. The son or daughter starts dating. That's 9 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. That's a 9-month program because we've just decided to continue moving the goalpost, achieve one goal, move to the next. So you now have not only a model that you're co-creating with the parents, you're building a client retention model that teenagers and parents stay in your world longer. So when you do the math, let's say this is a 2K program, $2,000 just turned into 6,000 from one family. And then you do the math. How many of those do you need a year to meet your income goals? Are we good here? I want this to simmer, process, to summarize, co-create, let the parent choose the outcome, sign them up to 12 weeks, move the goalpost, re-sign them to another 12 weeks. If they're happy with you and you're good at what you do, which we teach once again in practitioner, sign them up again for another 12 weeks. A 12-week client can turn into a 12-month client really, really fast. This is not just about keep getting clients, that endless loop of trying to get new clients. My clients stay with us anywhere between 2 to 3 years. We've had clients stay with us well up to 5 years. So the belief system I want you to borrow is if teenagers can stay in high school for anywhere between 4 to 6 years, why can't they stay with me? for anywhere between 2 to 3 years. That's what's going to change the trajectory of your teen coaching career, keeping clients with you for longer. Don't try to be spontaneous. Don't try to guess your way into what do I help with. Sophisticated parents who are looking for help or who want change, they will tell you. Do you know what I mean? Like, assuming they trust you, you're building your brand, you've got a lot of leverage online. Even if you're talking to one of your cousins or aunties or uncles, if they need help, you say, what do you need help with? Just ask. I use this example all the time. When I buy presents for my nephew and niece, I don't try to surprise my sister. I go to my sister and I say, what do the kids need? And then I buy them what they need. That's it. And so I know they're going to use what I give them because my sister specifically told me this is what Oscar needs or this is what Odette needs. And that's it, done. I don't try to surprise them anymore. I tried to be that spontaneous person with gifts, not anymore, because I used to buy things for the kids and then my sister either goes and gives them away and donates them or they just gather dust in the room. And I was like, okay, what's the point there? So when you're asking parents about if they're asking you, what can you help with? Put it back on them. I'm curious, what do you want help with? And if they don't know because they're just stuck in their own way, that's okay. You can then ask them, are you open to my suggestion? And then you can come back and say, look, we've got these focus areas. From what you've told me, I have a feeling mindset could be a bit of a problem. Are you open to that level of support? So once again, I'm testing the parent to give me something or at least be willing to be coachable. If they don't give me something or they're not willing to be coachable, red flag. I don't support that family. As much as I love the kid and I want to help the kid, if the parent is not meeting me halfway, red flag. I don't help them. If you love that, type in love. I ain't here to convince anyone. I ain't here to draw blood from a stone. You got to work your way here as well. I've got the goods, but let me know if you want the goods. And if you don't want the goods, that's okay. We can move on. There's plenty of people in this world that we can help. So write this down. We don't want clients. We want parents and teenagers who want change. I don't want to just coach teens. I want parents that come to me open and coachable. Because we know half of the problems sometimes are the parents. You know those ones? And so I ain't working with painful parents. I did a lot of that in a school teaching job. I don't deal with any of that in my coaching career. That's why you get treated better by clients. So a lot of your pro bono work, and my one-to-ones will know this, inside practitioner, a lot of it is standards, is expectations, is what am I not willing to tolerate? Because if you forget about that and you only worry about just getting a client making money, you're going to feel very discouraged and very unfulfilled very quickly in this space. No matter how great the kids are, by the way, because it's half the time it's got nothing to do with the kids. It's you neglecting your boundaries with parents. So I want to give you a bonus. Before I give you a bonus activity, here's the gift wrap. If you haven't done this yet, and if you have, you might want to refine it, but this is just an example, okay? I partner with parents to help their teens excel in school, life, and career. Shout out to Taylor and Katie who have already updated their bios. Now, where Taylor and Katie are sitting is I need you to go deeper on your Facebook content, which you are both starting to do. Because someone's going to ask you, what on earth does that mean? Okay, so less waffle. When someone asks you, what do you do? This is your definition. For them to build more trust with you, you need to go deeper on your content. Talk about how you're helping people in schools. Talk about your latest client results about life. Talk about the latest results in their career or college. And that's where Taylor's sitting right now. And Katie is like going deeper on the bio in the content. Now, remember, it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. If you waffle, if you hesitate, if you mumble, what's going to happen? If a parent asks you, let me know in the chat, a parent comes up to you They ask you what you do and you stumble your words. Let me know how you think they're going to react to that. Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to just hear your insecurities. They're going to feel your insecurity. So you need to practice this in the mirror, when you're driving, talk to yourself. I have staff meetings all the time. I talk to myself all the time. You need to rehearse this and say it with conviction. I partner with parents to help their teens excel in school, life, and career, but it also depends on what the family wants. Done. The end. Let the parent ask you the next question. Well, what exactly does that mean? Hey, well, I'm just curious. How much of my world have you actually consumed? Because also, 9 times out of 10, if someone doesn't know what you do, they probably haven't been consuming you. And that's why we need them as Facebook friends or Instagram or wherever, right? I rarely ever have a call with someone that doesn't know who I am. I want to create leverage. Write this down. Bonus segment for you all. Okay. I want to create leverage because I don't want to be talking to randoms. That puts me in an unsafe environment. Okay. This is a sacred space. So, how do we create leverage so we don't feel like we're convincing? You update your bio, you start to update your content, right? Your content goes deep. It could be posts, it could be videos, it could just be selfies. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Number 3, you have a consult. We attach application questions to the consult. And then very lastly, we offer pro bono. All right, so this is application. And pro bono, that's the test. I actually don't hire people straight away from paid. When it comes to one-to-one coaching, I create a lot of leverage. They see a lot of me on purpose, which means if you meet a parent on a consult and they're super random, slow them down. Come back. Add them as friends on Facebook. Make sure you clean up your application questions. A lot of you probably don't have application questions on your consult pages, which don't forget that's what we help you with inside Practitioner. And slow them down in pro bono. I want to test the family so then I know whether I'm going to make a paid offer or not. Are we all tracking here? And I know that's changed a lot of the businesses with people that have been doing pro bono. Just because someone's willing to pay you money doesn't mean they should be your client. Who loves that one, by the way? I've said no quite a bit of times over the years. I've cancelled application calls because I wasn't happy with the applications. So there's a power of saying no as well, not just yes. Can you see how this makes you attractive in marketing and sales? Play hard to get a little bit. This is why your financial position is important. Don't burn the boats and quit your job. Like if your job is just going to help you pay the bills, I'd rather you stay in your job and build team coaching, because if you put too much pressure on your financial state, you're going to lower the standards and you're just going to accept any parent coming in at the cost of your values and mental health because you're in a probably not so great financial position. So take your time so you have the power to say no to more people than trying to just get someone because you need the money. That's not an enjoyable state to be in. Now, on this note, I want to give you a bonus activity today. What are you not willing to tolerate with parents and teenagers? Alrighty, I want to give you this exercise. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't want time wasters. I don't want parents that come to me with just reasons or excuses. I don't want latecomers. I don't want kids that keep skipping my sessions. I don't want parents that all they do is complain and they don't want solutions, things like that. Okay. It's easier to know what you don't want sometimes, which then helps create what we do want. That conviction in yourself is infectious. So the second you meet a parent, you know whether this is going to be a good family or not. And if for whatever reason down the track things change, at least you can cut ties without feeling guilty or nervous. You just trust yourself because you know who you are, you know what you want, and you know what you don't want. How many people lose themselves in relationships? That could have been you. I know I definitely lost myself in previous relationships because I didn't know what I wanted. Can we all relate? You either go to a job because that's the job people told you to get, or you dated this person because you just wanted to date for the sake of dating. And you're like, who am I? I feel like I'm losing myself here. The same rule applies in your coaching business. Who you are as a woman or who you are as a man, you have to showcase that in your business. Me, I'm loyal to the bone, but it has to get earned as well. And I'm very clear with that with my clients. You got to earn your place in this world too. I'll give you 110%, but I need you to give me back. And so that once again, that's why not everyone wins. That's the reality. I'd love to market 100% success rate in TCA. I would love that, but that the reality is it's not the case because some people give me the 110% back and others don't. And whatever, life goes on, judgment-free zone, things happen. No one owns any explanation to anyone. But when it comes to one-to-one clients, you need to communicate. So let's take a look. Let's borrow each other's, by the way, copy, paste, whatever you want to do, blaming and have excuses for everything. Amazing, Cecilia. Can you imagine when you write a Facebook post about that? I don't work, here's a post. I don't work with parents who blame and have excuses for everything. That will trigger your audience. It has to. It has to. If you're too nice and you try to please everyone, you're probably not going to get clients. You need to put yourself out there and be bold. The next one, boundaries. Oh, I love that. Yeah, oppositional parents or teens, no after hours calls, respecting my safety and my trust. Amazing. That will be one of your next social media posts. Remember, when you communicate with your parents, it's not just once they become clients. Our marketing is about reconditioning how our parents think or how we want them to behave. We're doing this a lot with Taylor's posts lately. It's like we're teaching our audience how we actually want them to be and how that we want them to behave. So by the time they become clients, they know our world, they understand our lingo. Don't wait for the consult. Don't wait for them to become paid clients. Indoctrinate them into your standards, boundaries, and values through your Facebook marketing. And that's why it's important to sit in this reflection. And as I said, this will change. What you say this year can look different next year because everything's seasonal, but own the season that you're in right now and trust yourself that this is what is aligning with me right now. And I'm going to go and voice it to my audience. I am not the right coach for parents who are only concerned with getting their child into top school. And that's so important because that's what Taylor does, helps them get them to top schools. I'm not for helicopter or snowplow parents. I love this. Can you imagine? This is all content, all in itself. Every single point is a content piece. I'm not for families who want me to write the child's essays. Incredible. I'm not for parents who are only focused on acceptances and not growth. So good. Thank you so much, Taylor. Take those responses, team. And as I said, Taylor, that all those dot points are content pieces. So you're going to be good for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 weeks of content. That's where my head goes. Blaming and bad attitude, fix them, do the work for them. Yeah, I have a job already. So good. So see how we're starting to become more bold with how we communicate. Now, me, my introverted self, I don't want to ever have to feel like I have to actually say it to their face because I want to prevent that. So what I need to do is I need to be more bold in my marketing. Facebook, being seen. So I just repel all those people to begin with. If that makes sense, type in yes for me in the chat. Now, worst case scenario, if anyone falls through the cracks, well, then I just trust myself to handle it. I've definitely had parents and teens come in week 4, week 6, not happy with the growth. They told me what I wanted to hear in the beginning. The cracks started to show, and then I had to make a decision on firing them. And so you sit down and you trust yourself. You have the conversation. You be honest. Another one I want to add to this list. I don't want to work with families where I'm walking on eggshells. That's a big one for all of you. I don't want to ever feel like I'm walking on eggshells with any of you. I want to feel safe. Coming back to Sven's response, I want to feel safe. I want to feel trusted that if I have something on my heart that I want to say, I can say it because I trust that the way they receive it is going to be healthy and the way I receive it is going to be healthy. But of course, the way I deliver it also matters. I don't want to be a bully. There's a lot of coaches out there that talk down on their clients. I don't want that for you guys. So you just need to be mindful of your tone and how you say things. But that's a great list. If you're happy with that list, type in happy for me. Once again, don't hold that list hostage. You now know what you don't want, which equals what you want. Talk about it. Get loud about it. Anyone can chat GPT what a coach does. Anyone can go and chat GPT create a one-to-one life coaching course or program through AI. You do that. You can do that. And some of you probably already have done that. Where you're going to stand out with parents is marketing and telling them who you are and who you're not, what you do and what you don't do, what you tolerate, what you don't tolerate, culture, values, beliefs, standards, boundaries. That's how you're meant to communicate with parents, not niche topics, outcomes, curriculum. That's teacher mode. Don't fall into teacher mode when you're communicating to parents. You want to fall into enrolling them emotionally from a standards point of view. You get me? In our world, we talk about outcomes, but in their world, you're putting your boundaries cap on. Belief system I want you to borrow. I'm not just I'm not just speaking life into these kids. I'm showing them how to live. I'm not just helping parents communicate with their teens. I'm showing parents how to communicate by taking the lead. So if a parent messages you at 10 p.m. at night and expects you to run an emergency call and you say no, or you avoid the conversation and don't say no altogether, you're enabling that behavior. So by you rejecting the request or you addressing the request, sure, they might feel upset in the beginning, but you're actually that's a teachable moment for you to actually reassure them. No, see, this is a boundary I have in place, and here's the reasons why. And great parents will appreciate that because you're teaching them on how they should have boundaries in their household as well too. Okay, sometimes you just sharing how you think is coaching. How you live is coaching. Sometimes you won't have things to do in your one-to-one sessions, but they might ask you questions about how you think. That's coaching. You might have had a problem or a hiccup during the week and you want to share your experience and you want to teach them how to respond and react and address things. That's coaching. Awesome. So it's not just following a lesson plan. Yes, we've got programs and done for you templates and worksheets in the academy. They're all backups. It's about you sitting down and open coaching, and we're going to give you a bit of a taste today as well. Love, love, love. And this is something that Amy, in the beginning, coming in, very accounting mode, studied life coaching courses. So she came in as a life coach, but got stuck in just like the logistics because she has a very logical brain, and we're all probably very logical in the room. If you can agree, type logical for me. Amy had a lot of resistance in the beginning because sometimes being too logical is where you really get stuck. We want to tap more back into the heart of the parents and teens and learn how to coach one-to-one. Awesome. But because she was such a logical buyer as well, like she was quite skeptical. I must admit, like I don't want you coming in trusting me right away. Someone like Amy was watching me for a long time. Very logistical, very skeptical, wanted to do her research before she jumped into practitioner. But once she knew, that's it, she jumped in. She didn't even like I didn't even have to handle a spouse objection. She spoke to her husband, she asked for support. So here's the thing, right? You want to ask for support, not permission. That is for you, and that is for the parents that you're going to be working with in the future. Some of your parent buyers, a lot of you will be talking to mums. And then a lot of them will come to you and say, I need to speak to my husband or I need to speak to my teenager. That has a place, don't get me wrong. But you also want to support mothers to make the decision and back themselves and ask for support. So when they do talk to their spouse, because we encourage that, you're encouraging them to ask for support, not permission. If you love that, type in love. This is when you now start to enroll people in your world because you need to handle the spouse objection. That's more in a sales point of view. But think about it. Everyone that's joined Teen Coach Academy, they didn't go to their spouse to ask for permission. They did the research, they joined events like this, and then when they had the conversation with their spouse, it's this is what I want to do. And I truly believe in this, and I want to jump all in and practitioner or whatever it is. I'm asking you to support me. Why do I share that? Because a common problem that a lot of us face, not just taking advice off the wrong people, it's it's not being certain enough in your mission. And if you're not certain enough, of course your spouse is going to want to try and keep you safe because they don't want you to feel hurt. They don't want you to waste the money. Waste the money. You need to be certain in this movement that it's going to work for you. Because remember, they borrow your certainty too. So that's once again, same rule applies, not only you owning it within yourself in this market, but you're encouraging parents to step into that state. So what we were teaching Amy is how to handle objections. Do you want a few bonus perks here? Because this is what helped Amy also cross six figures. 18-month timeline. Amy certainly was in our world well over 3 years. But for her, she had to learn not only how to one-to-one coach, but also handle objections. So when you're talking to parents, encourage parents to be the parent. Because some parents will be like, oh, I'll just go and talk to my teens. Now, you need to figure out what type of style you want to have when it comes to working with parents. Do you want them to trust themselves and make the decisions? Or do you want to go more with a gentle parenting approach? What's that style for you? Do you have a style? Type in yes or not yet. Because remember, you're not just helping kids, you're helping parents navigate their parenting style, and that's going to affect your sales. Does that make sense? So for me, my approach is the parent's the parent. Because that's how I was raised, and two, that's the style I resonate with. Whereas if you're more of a gentle parenting, that's fine too, right? We just need to figure out what's your style. Does that make sense? So remember, it's not just know your style. You need to communicate your style on Facebook and in your marketing. So Amy, what we did is not only know her style, but go and market it, talk about it, Facebook posts. For a very long time, Amy was in life coaching certification schools. Like we weren't the first school for her. She was studying a lot before she found us, but she made the most amount of money come TCA world. Because it's not just be logical anymore. Go and communicate your style to your parents. Playful but protector, amazing. So you can only imagine, I very rarely attract parents that have to ask their kids for permission. I don't deal with that objection anymore because I'm bold and I'm loud about it online. And if it ever does come across the consults, that's okay. I just encourage them to be the parent because that's the style that I align with. Your cultural values, the way you've been raised or the way you raise your kids, it will all have a place. So I'll give you another example, which really helped Amy because in the beginning, she wasn't used to having dads on calls. And a lot of you probably aren't used to that either. We attract a lot of mothers naturally in our marketing. And so the mums are going to come on the consults. But then you need to think to yourself, how are you going to handle spouse objection? How are you going to handle the whole family journey? But importantly, not just that, what are your standards? What do you stand by? What do you live and breathe? What are your non-negotiables? You need to have a spine in teen coaching. You need to figure out what are the do's and don'ts. And this is where parents start to earn their way into your world. That if they're not there yet, at least they're willing to get there. Do you want to know one of my non-negotiables? Type in yes for me in the chat. It's going to challenge a lot of you. I had Katrina on the podcast very recently. It's coming out very soon, the episode, and she's done something very differently now than what she never used to do before meeting us and joining practitioner. I don't work with kids where mum doesn't want to involve the dad or the dad doesn't want to get involved. Now, assuming both parents are still married or they're co-parenting in a healthy exchange, all right, assuming that's all okay, dad's involved or we don't go ahead. That's going to challenge a lot of you that have never spoken to dads before. Because if you truly want to make a dent in this market, you need to do things differently to a lot of teen coaches that aren't willing to do, aren't willing to touch, because they just don't know who they are or who or what they stand for. Now, once again, you don't have to talk to dads. If that's something that you really don't want to do, cool, you do you. If you want to get the best results in the space, you want to charge north of $10,000 and more for your coaching programs, you need to learn how to talk to the dads as well as the mums, especially together in the same Zoom rooms. Are you ready to up level? Drop a fire emoji for me in the chat. You can't just get mums through $10,000, especially if they're not the breadwinner in the household. Dad needs to be emotionally enrolled, not just logistically. That's what's going to get you to six figures. It doesn't mean 10,000 off the bat, but recurring revenue over 12 months or less, an average client lifetime value for you can be $10,000. I'm a product of that. I've done that. I've helped coaches do that. But you've got to raise the standards. Awesome. Sophisticated parents, wealthy parents, they want to know where their money's going. They want to meet the people that are coaching their teens. This is not just come and hire a coach or a tutor and I throw my kid into Zoom room style. That doesn't work in our world. So if that's the case too, you've got to be willing to not tolerate that anymore. I want to meet both parents. Who's feeling more stronger in standards since this segment? Type in strong for me. Loving the shares from Taylor as well. Borrow our standards. That's what got Amy to six figures. She didn't use everything inside practitioner. She didn't come to everything. You know, she used a lot from her previous life coaching schools. In all honesty, I think she borrowed more of my standards, belief systems, and just like consistent immersion inside the practitioner world, which I, will expect from everyone of you in the room too. Love, love, love. So talking about standards and expectations, before we get into the next segment, I want to celebrate another person inside practitioner because very similar to Amy, already was studying in the world. Okay, I'm not your first coach or first TCA is not your first coaching school. This particular person started with pro bono. Okay, so went through the same seek, start, scale stage, but when it came to helping parents, came back to the pro bono level. Now, pro bono not only helped her get clients and make money, this particular coach learned more about what she's not willing to tolerate. So she's had to say no to people along the way. There's power in that. She's had to learn about what type of family she wants to work with and what type of parents she don't. She's had to refine her screening process, get louder online. Now, I think she's been a TCA for about a couple of years, probably more. We've met in person along the way too. And so I want to really recognize her because from dabbling inside practitioner for, maybe a year or two, and then now scaling with virtual assistants and getting leads and charging high ticket, it's been an emotional journey for this particular coach. But I want to recognize her. She is in the room. Shout out to Taylor Ross for our Rising Star Award. Drop some love hearts for Taylor in the chat. I want to recognize you as well, but this is for you. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
How are you feeling just with the whole practitioner journey and where you are right now scaling with things too? Where's your head at?
I'm so good right now. I have to say, well, no, we were talking about this with my virtual assistant recently. My default is to want everything immediately, now, yesterday, right? And there definitely has been a lot of acceptance and growth around allowing myself to do things methodically to really set up the foundation and let it take the time that it takes, so that I could be where I am now, which is very exciting. And I just, I also, what's really interesting for me to notice is when I started in pro bono and then moving into practitioner, I had so much resistance. And I feel like now everything makes so much more sense and it's so much easier. And I just adopted this mindset that's like, I'll do whatever Lena says. And it works so well.
And tweaking here and there, make sure you feel safe, of course.
Of
But
course, of
definitely,
course.
you know,
Don't
it's
my voice. Yeah.
definitely, yeah. I think from what I've witnessed, and it's a great teachable moment for everyone in the room, Taylor is way more herself than she's ever been with her content and her clients. And if you're not happy with something, you address it as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah. Um, I have the first client breakup was tough. Um, and it also really reminded me why I love pro bono. Even though that was something that I also resisted at the beginning.
Yeah,
But yeah, I do. I feel not just in my business, but in my life that I'm stepping into a place where everything finally makes sense.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. That holistic approach. And I think for all of us to also remember is your personal life, it trickles through into the business, and energy is all, sales is all about energy as well. And so your clients and prospects feel that. But being more bold and showing who you are and your content, it's dramatically improved over the last few weeks as well. So huge congratulations. Drop some love, hearts, fire emojis again. Thank you for the shares, Taylor, as well. I just want to reassure all of you that the results you're looking for, it takes time. You know, as I said, Taylor's probably been in our world north of 3 years, like coming up to 3 years, and just dabbling in ins and outs. And you know, started with practitioner, and then came to us, and we had an LA in-person intensive in America. Now works with me one to one. So it's been incremental. It's been gradual. You know, and some of you may want to start one to one with me. Others are like, cool, practitioner feels like the most digestible step right now for me. Does that make sense? Like you need to figure out what best serves you in this season of your career when it comes to extracting support from TCA. Because here's the belief system, right? Not every buyer should be treated equally. With your parents, you can't treat them all equally because it depends on their appetite. Please write this down. Their appetite, their commitment, and their budget. Unapologetically, right? Like parents might want $10,000 worth of support, but they can only afford 1,000. So the last thing you can afford to do is pitch them 10,000. So with your one-to-one offers, which will naturally lead into the next segment, with your one-to-one offers, it's not do different offers. Okay? Let's write this down. When you're offering a one-to-one program, or like, you know, program, but a service, and this is what we're helping Taylor with and everyone else inside TCA. It's one-to-one coaching, and then we just give them different ways to access you. It's a proximity model. This is going to blow your mind. If you haven't been in my world long enough to hear this, this is not what other coaches are teaching. You diversify your one-to-one. So for example, let's say your one-to-one is a traditional 12-week program, a 12-week service is $3,000 for 12 weeks. Now, not everyone might go for that. So you give them just options. Do you want 4 weeks of that? Well, the only difference is 4 weeks is 1,000. That's a lot of money, by the way, guys. Come on, would an extra $1,000 do well for you right now? Type in yes or no. I'm not changing the offer. I'm just I'm just changing the timeline of the offer. That's one way to do it. Okay, so you give them 4 week, 8 week or 12 week. Don't overcomplicate the math. They save, they expand, and like don't get in your head about that. Just get them in. You can fancy it up later on. Just get them in at either 4,000, 2,000, or 3,000. That's one way to do it. Now that's weekly. This is based on weekly support. I don't recommend anything outside of weekly from a one-to-one point of view. Consistency, the more they see you matters. Immersion, even if it's for just 10 or 15 minutes a week, but weekly consistency with teenagers and parents is extremely important. Even my high achievers, I see them weekly. All of my one-to-ones, I see them weekly. Because anything outside of that, they tend to fizzle, and immersion is really important. If they fizzle and they don't see you often, it definitely hurts client success. And I'm talking people who drop a lot of money and are very high achievers and are very coachable and very self-driven. The weekly touch point is incredibly important. Now, remember, we're selling an outcome. So these calls don't have to be more than, it just depends how long you need to get the outcome. Sometimes the calls are 20 minutes, sometimes the calls are an hour, but you don't need that many clients when you charge correctly as well. So if this is helpful to see, you're not changing different offers. It's one offer and you just deliver it differently depending on how much they can afford or how long they want to stay in your world. And if you're good at what you do and they see the value, you just keep renewing, extend. I always recommend 12 weeks minimum. Okay, so encourage 12 weeks minimum. And if for whatever reason it's not digestible enough, I've turned a 4-week client into 12 months. If you love that, type in love, because I'm aware of the model. I've turned, borrow this, okay? We're planting seeds now. I've turned a $20 prospect into 20,000, right? And I want to inspire you to borrow this belief system that I just need to get them in my world, immerse them, and hang in there, chip away, get them back at another event or re-sign them. That could be anywhere between a 12-month to 18-month journey. What would that do for you if a family spent $20,000 over their client journey with you? You let me know. Would that be life-changing? It certainly was for me. It certainly continues to be for me. You do 5 of those, that's your 6 figures. Because you are good at what you do. We are great educators. I'm not talking to someone that doesn't know how to talk. I'm not talking to someone that just woke up today and wants to help kids. I'm talking to someone who has decades of experience, who knows how to present themselves, who is professional, who has success. You have studied, you have gone to college, etc. You have corporate degrees or corporate jobs. You can do this. I just need you to believe you can do this and be in our circles where you've got the proximity to hold you through this. Is that goals for you? Type in goals, whether it's a $10, $20 prospect, $10 prospect, doesn't matter. Because you borrowed this approach. Okay, what's the 12-week? And the 12-week 3K can turn into 12-week 5K. You just play with the numbers and you play with the timeline. So here is a traditional timeline with your coaching, okay? They come in through pro bono. You then do your thing. You do it correctly the way I teach you inside practitioner. You re-sign them to paid. And then it works, okay? So the traditional journey is 12 weeks, give or take. If you want to change it to 4 weeks or 8, doesn't matter. But the traditional journey that I see get the best results are 12 weeks. And then you do it again. You re-sign them again to paid. And that's 12 weeks again. Now, what I find on average, oops, excuse me. This is all one-to-one. On average, by the time the first and second round of paid moves by, you have a very good idea and you've had enough time to plant the seed for a 12-month offer. A lot of you sitting in this room, you're already coaching one-to-one, but you don't have a back-end offer. What I mean by back-end is send them longer. Give them a 12-month offer. That's your $10,000 offer right there. Mind blow, right? And when you do the math, it's very affordable. Now, remember, this isn't just to get them into a 10K model. You refine your delivery. It won't take you more than 20 to 30 minutes a week of delivery when you're really good at what you do, because you have great clients and they don't need babysitting. So some of you that are experienced, that's going to be your 2 millimeter shift with me, whether that's inside practitioner or my one-to-one, is make a 10K offer. That changed Renee's career. That's why most of my coaches, they start with group coaching and they realize how I do one-to-one, and they reserve group coaching. Some of them don't even do group coaching ever again. They fix their one-to-one model. They charge high ticket. They make 6 figures a year. Awesome. So coming back here, this is the traditional path. Let's clean this up. We've got a free round of coaching. We move them to the first round of paid, which is 12 weeks. We re-sign them to a second round of 12 weeks, and then we make a decision. This is invite only. You have a good idea 6 months in on whether you actually want to commit 12 months to them or not. That's important for you. Make them work for it. Maybe after the first round, you might have an idea. Look, I've seen enough. This person's really hungry. They've asked me for more. Maybe you want to offer 12 months. But I find at least 2 rounds together before a 12-month offer generally works best. And then what happens? You make moves, you change their life. Their whole family is just supported in just different ways. Okay, what you do? You do it again. Another 12 months. This is normal. This is normal in our world. In the beginning, it feels foreign until it becomes a new norm. Then you move them to 2K. Then you move them to 2K again. This one is, let's just say for numbers' sake, 10,000. 10,000 again. What's that? That's 24K from one family. Why do we do this? Because, finish the sentence, because I can. That is the only argument you need today. Because I can. There's two sides of your business model. You've got the front end and you have the back end. So where usually most people start is they just try to master the front end. I can guarantee, and I know all of you in the room, we've had engagements before at some level. There's some of you, you've mastered the front end. You know how to get clients one-to-one. You've got that. You signed them up. What you don't have is a back end. So example with Katrina. Katrina's a nutritionist, NLP practitioner. She started team coaching. She wanted practitioner to bring team coaching into her model. She came to me with already clients. And where Katrina was neglecting was the back end. She wasn't re-signing. She wasn't upselling. She wasn't cross-selling. So a lot of you, we probably wouldn't even need to touch the front end. We need to attach a back end. What do I mean by that is you've got re-signs and upgrades to higher ticket services, $10,000 and above. Or we can do like a $2,000 cross-sell or $5,000 cross-sell. So if you're tracking with me, type in tracking. For the most part, if you're just starting out, we need to master the front end. For those that have been in the market for quite some time, you're coming to me to not master your front end. You're coming to me to maybe help you clean up your systems because you probably don't have systems and a VA, but you're now attaching a back end. That's what's going to change your business. When you commit to a back end. As you can see, we don't have a lot of clients in the academy, and we're certainly growing. And I love the slow burn here and there. And over the years, we've helped a lot of people. But when you see who stays consistent, you're like, oh, she's still around, or he's still around. Our world is all about mastering not only the front end but also the back end. Remember, that's how I take a $20 prospect into 20,000, give or take, and the average client lifetime value is $10,000. That's your 6-figure business. How long is that going to take? Depends on the client's journey. So coming here, pro bono, within 7 days, they could move to paid, or within 3 months, within 6 months. Not every pro bono is going to re-sign straight away. So some of you that have had pro bonos and haven't re-signed, don't worry, don't give up on them. They can come back. They can have time to save the money, stay on top of mind. They watch your Facebook, etc. I've had one-to-one clients that came to me for one round. Then they dropped. You can change levels inside the academy. And then they came back 6 months later and signed up for another round. And then they realized, you know what, makes sense. I'm going to save more. I might as well go 12 months. But that's not in a consecutive month period. That happens like every few months. They come back, open the doors. So the traditional go from level 0 to level 10, it doesn't happen in the traditional ascension model. Life happens, seasons change. They might not re-sign right away, but what you need to do is you need to keep the door open or rotate the doors. So if someone doesn't re-sign now, that doesn't mean they can't re-sign within the next 6 months, because you start to follow up. You stay persistent. Once again, if you're loving this, type in love. This is not just about leads, leads, leads. I need new leads. I need more parents. I just need to keep marketing. You find the right ones, you immerse them, and they stay in your world for longer. Client retention model, because we're good at what we do. That's what marketers and gurus don't do well. They talk, 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 and they don't know how to coach. And then churn hurts them because clients quit and they leave. That's why a lot of coaches don't last in the market, because they suck at coaching, but they're just loud online. You need the best of both worlds. Market well and coach well. With the rise of AI and tech and everything, one-to-one coaching is going to become so much more important than it ever has before. There was a period in the coaching space where everyone tried to sway away from one-to-one, and to some extent that's still the case. But one-to-one and client meetups are not going anywhere. They're going to be way more important, and people are going to be charging way more for it, because everything is just AI now. Everything is groups. Kids are in so many groups now: tutoring, sport clubs, homeschooling meetups, camps. That's our time to shine, baby. One-to-one, because not many people are doing it. They don't trust themselves to coach, or they don't get the right support and training, or they build it incorrectly and they burn out. That's where you and I come in. That's your six-figure business, giving parents what they actually want and crave, which is proximity to a coach. If you're going to come to me every day of the week, I'm going to tell you, do not neglect your one-to-ones. If you open group coaching, it's group coaching as a bonus for your one-to-ones. I don't separate the two. So for example, all of my one-to-ones get practitioner. Now, the practitioner is just I guess you would call it like a downsell, right? But I don't lead with practitioner alone. So I never neglect my one-to-ones. My main priority and all my energy that goes into TCA and my parent clients and my teenage clients that I still have, everything is centered around one-to-one, and then we diversify everything else. All my digital products came from one-to-one. All my client meetups are literally my one-to-one clients in a room, and then I invite guests. You get me? So anytime you meet us in person, that you're literally in the room, or even this one, you're in the room with all my one-to-ones. So use group coaching and events as a bonus for your one-to-ones, not events only. So I want you to think about, is there a particular challenge or limiting belief you're sitting on at the moment that you actually you just want to get rid of, okay? Or you just want to work through the resistance. Now, in the next segment, I want to give one of you or two of you a chance to be coached by me. Awesome. Now, this is going to be great for the room, because the room will get to watch coaching in action. And that is the best way for me to teach you on how to coach, because I'm literally taking what's in the practitioner manual and I'm demonstrating it live. So let's go with Taylor. What's going on? What's on your mind? We're going to tackle today.
Oh, this is so exciting, so fun. Okay. Well, thank you, Dale. That was really great, because my initial question, I think, was about handling objections with parents. And then I just got to witness what that looks like. So that was really cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I have, of course, similarly, many things. I'm wondering if the sort of specific granular question I have is, I stop myself from even getting to the conversation. Like, I present, I here's the program, here's the price, And the parent is like, okay. I'm like, wait, what do they say? And then they're like, well, email me.
Mm.
Just email me this. Send me an email. Or I gotta go talk to whoever or whatever. But send me an email. And I'm
Hmm.
like, and I even said, I was like, and that, this was today on a call with a parent whose daughter I worked with, who's thinking about, for her son. And she's like, just send it, just email me. And I was like, great. Well, why don't we schedule a second call, right? So we can talk about it once you've reviewed everything. And she was like, no, I don't think that's necessary. Just email me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just was like, okay.
So
But I
where's
didn't
the,
even
yeah,
get
yeah, tell me.
as far as, at being able to ask questions or open it up. And I think this might be too much, but
Mm.
I think my real resistance is around coaching parents. I
Yep.
am super confident coaching teens.
Hmm.
But when it comes time, because this is an opportunity for me to coach her,
Correct.
right? And I'm like, oh no, coaching a parent.
Let's tackle it. This is
Okay.
good. This is juicy stuff. So just for a bit of context in the room, this is when, so Taylor's on a consult with the parent, taking them through pro bono, right? Doing it the way we teach. Pro bono, now it's time to re-sign to paid. And we've shared the investment. And now the parent is either in or out. But what the parent said is send me the details and I'll get back to you. This happens a lot if you let it happen. And so we need to, of course, work through that resistance. So we prevent this happening or, tackle it on the spot. So when it comes to talk me through that exact moment, Taylor, around is it hesitating to handle it on the spot? Um, yeah, let's go a little bit deeper around when it comes to the coaching the parent part on this part of the consult. Is it just in sales or is it just coaching them in general? Where are you hesitating the most?
I think it's coaching in general because I've
Mhm.
I've also got a parent, it's, as you've been sharing about a mom who has to talk to her husband, whose husband I haven't met.
Yeah.
And I've been encouraging her to introduce the two of us, to bring him to a call or whatever. But it's the same feeling of like, oh, I can't, you
Okay,
know.
cool. Awesome. This is great. So if we can reflect for a moment, what's the belief or the narrative you tell yourself in that moment?
Mm, I'm really good with kids, but I'm not a parent.
Mm,
So how do I coach a parent?
hmm. Beautiful. And safe to say that's not serving you at the moment?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Love it. Team, let us know what you're witnessing to, by the way. Right now, we're heading into a belief, a narrative. And now I'm just curious, Taylor, around are you open? Because beliefs serve us or not serve us. And so when it comes to coaching ourselves, I want to encourage you to just change the belief or change the narrative. But I'm curious if you're open to trying on a new belief today. Where are you at with that?
Yeah, yeah, I'm open.
Awesome. Now, before we change the belief, are there other parents that you help in your world that are actually paying you at the moment? Like in general,
Um,
you're helping their kids, but they're paying you to help their kids, like whether that's now or
oh
later.
yeah.
You've had parents pay you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Um, have you learned anything specific about those parents? Are they coachable? Did they ever question you about not being a parent? The ones that you've loved?
No. Oh no.
Yeah, cool.
That never even came up.
Nice. Okay, cool. That's awesome. So the parents that you've loved helping and they've been so happy and get results in your world, those people have never questioned whether you're a parent. So I'm curious where we picked up this I'm not a parent, how do I coach narrative? Do you know where you picked that up from?
Yeah. I don't know, but I don't think it's business. I
Yeah.
think it's from my family, right?
Juicy.
Like
Hmm.
I'm on a call Mother's Day, FaceTime, I've got my mom with me and we've called my grandmother and my grandmother who has dementia is like, "Do you have kids?" Are you married? Do you have kids? Where are your kids? Oh no, she didn't ask, do you have kids? She said, where are your kids? She
Mm,
assumed that I had them and asked where they were.
hmm.
Like, oh, actually, I don't have any.
What showed up for you in that moment? Yeah, this is really good. What meaning did you create in that?
Yeah, that it's a missing or a way that I'm failing or yeah, a way. I mean, it's the opposite of what we've been talking about here today of the certainty. It's like so much uncertainty.
Yeah, yeah. This is great. So this is just once again great feedback. Thank you so much for being so honest because this also helps our exchange as well. So we've now adopted this narrative that's currently not serving us and it's been influenced by family, which is very normal. Just to reassure you, who relates to this in the room, by the way, we've picked up a narrative from someone we might not have known in the moment. Type in me too in the chat. We've all been there, including myself. So you're not alone, Taylor. Now, what we want to do is we just want to try on a new narrative. It's going to take a bit of time. It's like a new pair of jeans. It's going to feel uncomfortable in the beginning until we get used to it. I'm not looking to change that reaction of how you felt after the FaceTime call. What I'm looking for is if we were to just make up a new belief today that could benefit you, what would that be? Let's make it up. That would serve you on these calls with the parents.
Yeah, I mean, I think the easy place to go is like, it doesn't matter if I'm not a parent. I'm amazing at what I do.
Mhm.
I've coached adults before, so what does it matter that
Mhm.
I'm coaching them in this context? Um,
So I have a question.
mhm.
How is not being a parent actually not a problem for your business?
That's great. I have heard this repeatedly, and in fact, the mom I started this talking about said this to me today, that she was like, teens don't want to listen to their parents. They we need an objective expert to come in and tell them what to do, and then they listen. Yeah.
So good. Drop some fire emojis in the chat. How do you feel just saying that?
Yeah, it's so cool. It's like I mean, it's turning uncertainty into certainty.
100%. So, what type of coach do you need to be moving forward in order to continue to believe that this is true for you?
A certain one.
Yeah. What else?
I need to be leaning into every facet as a strength. Mhm.
100%.
Yeah.
How are we going to lock this in moving forward? If we were to just do something incremental today to stack the certainty, what does that look
A
like for you?
content post.
Oh, yeah. See, we've been hanging out too much now. We know exactly what to do. Talking my language. Content post. Congratulations. Safe to say there's not going to be anything that gets in the way of this content post.
Oh yeah, very good.
Beautiful. Amazing. Drop some love hearts for Taylor in the chat. Taylor, let me know before I let you go. How do you feel just after we've removed resistance with that story that you came in with?
Honestly, so much gratitude. Like, I'm so grateful to be in this space with everyone's listening and to get this opportunity, to be coached by you, like live real-time coaching. It's so cool.
I love it. Congratulations. We're definitely going to unpack it. So, big virtual hug to you as well. Let's unpack it, team. I'm sure you, of course, picked up on a lot of things. So, I want to once again, just like Dale, Taylor came in very coachable. It makes my job so much easier as a coach when your client is coachable. Okay, so always remember that if they're not coachable, you're going to waste your breath. If they're stuck in a lot of stories, that's okay, but at least ask them, like, are you willing to work through this? Remember, we don't want problems or just problems. We want to get into solution. Taylor was ready for a solution. So it was a little bit more direct with Taylor, which is cool. Like every person's going to be different. So a couple of things that I asked. We started with a bit of story, but then we went right into a narrative, like a belief. So a lot of the time with your clients, it's not that they're stuck with something, it's that they've adopted a belief system that's not serving them. Okay, so with your teenagers and your parents, they don't have a grades problem. They have a personal belief problem. There's a belief that's getting in the way of executing on something. So it always comes back to the narrative. What's the narrative you're telling yourself? And so in this case, Taylor was adopting a narrative that, I'm not a parent, so there's a bit of a void. Until we turned that, we reframed it. One of my favorite questions to ask is, how is that not a problem for you? And then we all witnessed the light bulb moment, didn't we? Type in yes for me in the chat. That light bulb went off. So when if you ever want to reframe something to go from problem to strength, ask them, how is that actually not a problem for you? And it confuses sometimes the person. They're like, oh, I never thought of it that way. So they need a bit of time to process. Don't rush that moment on your coaching calls. Let them sit in the silence, let them think about it, even play some music in your Zoom sessions or face to face. You got to make them think, how is this actually not a problem? And then Taylor reframed it, and she has the evidence for it as well, which is crazy. She had evidence for the empowering narrative. She didn't have evidence for the disempowering narrative. Right? And she's laughing, right? So it's like search for the evidence that's going to help you win because you have the evidence. It's somewhere. So you got to just search for it. And we did. We found it just by that one question. How is that not a problem for you? And then we changed it. Now, what I did, I also attached it to her identity. What type of coach do you need to be in order for this to be true? So don't just abolish limiting beliefs or don't just reframe things. You've got to lock it in with identity. What type of person? You heard me say that today, or what type of person? Same thing with Taylor. What type of coach? Attach a new identity because that's the work we're doing, creating change and building new identities. If you love that one, type in love before we get on to Katie, because I think Katie's the last one before we kick on as well. But yeah, you always think about just what's the stories I'm telling myself, and sometimes you just need us to be your mirror. But it's a self-coach model that I'm teaching you right now. Okay, so you use it to coach teens and parents, but you also use it to coach yourself. So Dr. Carla, when she used to get stuck on things, she used to just watch and read practitioner manual just to coach herself through stuff. And I was like, that's actually brilliant. It just goes to show, yes, we can use these models and templates on ourselves. Alrighty, lucky last. Let's head to Katie before we kick on. Let's catch up. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Yeah, thank you, Taylor and Dale. That was amazing. Very relatable too. I'm struggling a bit.
Yeah.
I'm myself not a parent, so I feel that too.
Love it.
I am still struggling with content, putting myself out there. I think I've done 3 posts and I'm still not, 100% confident, and I can't put I don't know.
Yep. Can't pinpoint where we're getting stuck. That's okay. We can work through it. But
Yeah.
safe to say you definitely want to remove resistance today, work through it.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. I love it. So, okay, let's kind of let's play around with it for a moment. Let's say you're getting ready to make a post. Is it that you struggle to think about what to post, or you're about to post and then you don't? Where exactly are you
Bit of
stuck in the
both. It
process?
might be, yeah. And
Mm.
that whole, I know some family or relatives are pretty judgmental, so I just got to put that to the side
Mm-hmm.
and, try to not worry about what people think. I guess maybe that's what it is actually.
Maybe. Maybe.
I answer my own question.
Oh, don't we love this, everyone? Like when you just talk it out. But no,
When you
this is
talk
good.
out loud.
This is good. Okay, no, we're getting there. This is good. So let's say, let's say the family side of things, judgment, criticism, let's say that wasn't a problem.
Mm-hmm.
would that be the only thing? Like if we sorted that, would there be anything else in getting in the way of being seen?
Um, no, not real. Maybe a couple of friends here and there, but no, not really.
Okay, cool.
No.
So safe to say the only thing that will be getting in the way of creating content is being seen in front of family and friends. Awesome. Okay, great. And if that wasn't the case, you're okay to be seen. Like you can post and
Oddly, weirdly enough, yeah.
beautiful. Is this relatable, everyone? Type in me too. Once again, posting in because posting in front of people we know is challenging. It's like when you have a keynote presentation. We can talk to randoms, but if we have our family, friends, cousins, teachers, and people we know, that's probably a little bit more nerve-wracking. So think about talk. Are you happy to explore a little bit more, go deeper on the family and friends?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course. Yeah.
cool. So, what exactly is it? Is it like, for example, has something happened in the past where you had family and friends criticize your work or Facebook? What comes to mind?
No, not really. They love gossip, they love drama.
Yeah.
Um, they can be judgmental
Mm-hmm.
when I'm hearing in the background conversations they're having.
Yeah. Excuse me.
So yeah,
In general, they're just like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Where do you come into the mix though? Are you mindful that you don't want to be part of conversation, part of the gossip?
Yeah, probably. I don't want to be part of the gossip.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm just trying to do better for myself and then for other people, obviously, like to help teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel sometimes they like to pinpoint like the negatives,
Yeah.
or like, oh, what are you thinking of doing this? Or I
Yeah.
think I reached out to my cousin and he's like, oh, well, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you? And I was just like, whoa, okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
too much. So
Yeah.
like, oh, back off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they just not supportive kind of in a way. Like they don't, I think they are, but they don't know that you're tearing you down a little bit in a way as
Totally.
well.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, I'm getting a bit, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, we obviously it's safe to say we can't change how family react
Mm,
or how they behave. We want to control the controllables. So let's talk around, okay, let's say the gossiping doesn't change, the drama, judgmental, and all that stuff. Moving forward, if you were to think about nothing changing with them, what do you
yeah,
feel needs to change within you? Because we know they're not going to change.
true.
So
Yeah,
what shows
wow.
up for you?
Um, well, it probably just shows that I am trying to change myself, grow, and to help other people grow. Yeah, I'm out there
Yeah.
trying to do a good thing for
Mhm.
the young kids
Yeah.
and their families.
Love that. No, I love that. And let's say the gossip continued, knowing you're doing well, you're helping families, the gossip's still there. How's that no longer going to be a problem for you with the gossip side of things?
You just got to push it to the side, ignore it,
Hmm.
try to. Yeah,
Yeah, what
because it
else?
sucks when it's like your family, like they're the closest sometimes. Yeah,
Hmm.
just try to ignore, or if they bring it up, I don't, yeah.
Is there a particular scenario or maybe person that comes to mind?
Um, one of my cousins, yeah,
Hmm.
he's
Okay.
very, yeah, and
Outspoken? Like, tell me more about them.
yeah, very outspoken. And then to get like, I love my sister-in-law, but she's very looks at everything wrong that can happen,
Hmm. Yep.
or just
Fear-based.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Are they married? Like the cousin? Oh no, sorry, your sis-in-law, and then there's a cousin. Okay, cool. So,
Yeah, they're both married.
okay, awesome, awesome. So, yeah, just coming back to, I want you to think of this for a moment, right? Your cousin and your sis-in-law, they are going to be representing society
Hmm.
because that's where we're all sitting right now. People like that are just indoctrinated in a different way of life and thinking. And so us in teen coaching, we're the minority. We're the ones going against the system. We're the ones that are building new pathways. So this is great practice for you to work on your reactions, your boundaries, the way you communicate, because the market is going to pretty much give you what your cousin and sister-in-law are going to be giving you. You know, you're going to have people that
Yeah.
agree with you. So it's like we are practicing it privately before we do it publicly. And so,
Yeah.
you know, it's all about like the universe or God that teaches you exactly what you need. You know, careful what you wish for because it will happen type of thing.
Yeah.
So this is all about now how we can change the way you're interacting from a business side of things.
Yeah.
What do you want to do differently when it comes to your cousin and sister-in-law? If we were to put some boundaries in place, what would that look like for you?
Yeah, probably. Um, I don't know sort of how the right way to frame it, like not put them down, but just like, I appreciate your advice, but I'm taking a different path or
Yeah, possibly. We're practicing. Now,
yeah.
are you willing to practice and get better at this? Could there be anything that might get in the way of you building new boundaries? Awesome. I love this. How would this make you feel when you have new boundaries and stronger boundaries around your family?
A lot better, and I'd feel better with yeah, posting, putting
Mhm.
stuff out there.
Yep. Okay, awesome. How do you feel already just talking it out, by the way? Is this,
Oh, it's
yeah,
amazing, yeah, talking it out. It's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, awesome.
light
So
bulbs come on. Like yeah.
definitely, because let's say, you know, you're in the work, you're doing the work. What does this teach the teenagers and parents moving forward? What does this teach your clients?
Do you mean like anything is
Yeah, let's say
possible that you
they're,
can overcome
yeah,
challenges?
yeah, what
Yeah.
comes to mind?
Um, I don't know. Do you mean that, yeah, I can, do you mean like instilling these
Yeah,
beliefs and stuff into my clients, the kids? Yeah.
100%. Yeah, you're on it. You're like a living model of your work. So I want you to write that down too, right? When it comes to building
Yeah.
boundaries, you're living and breathing your model right now. And the natural test for all of us in the room is if that's what I want to help people with, the universe is going to challenge the hell out of me. Because it's kind of like, are you sure you really want this? Prove it. All of us in the room right now, not just Katie, if you want this, you got to prove it in your personal life first because the market is going to trigger you. And if you don't handle it personally, you're just going to get exposed in the market. And so this is great personal growth for Katie and for everyone in the room. You want to help teenagers with growth? Let me give you a challenge in your personal life because I want to test you and prove to me that you can grow. That's what's going to give you certainty in your coaching. You handle it privately, you coach on it publicly, and you get paid for it. That's
Mm,
congruence. You're certified in congruency. And that's the training that you're going through right now. You're getting trained in congruency, Katie. How do you feel just with me saying that?
yeah. Good.
Perfect. And I can already I
Yeah.
can I can see it in your face and your shoulders and just the pressure's been released a little bit.
Ooh.
So talk with me. What do you want to do over the next few days to solidify this growth? What does that look like for you? A practical step.
Yeah, set up those boundaries and just post, like stop with this belief, like who cares what
Mm.
they think? Because like you said, they're not going to change.
Yeah.
Only like I'm going to change and grow and other people along the way, but yeah, so
Awesome. I
just do
love
it.
Big
Just do
congratulations. Yeah, awesome. Thank you
it.
for drop some love hearts for Katie in the chat. Huge, huge growth. And thank you all for
Thank you
making my
guys.
job so much easier. Like rapport is everything as well in coaching as we unpack this for a moment. If you don't have rapport, it's going to be very hard to work through a limiting belief. And so that's why, once again, leverage. I've created so much leverage. I none everyone that put their hand up in today's room know me. Like for the most part. They've had engagements with me, they've watched me. Some are clients, some not. So I'm not a random to them. That's extremely important. So when you meet teenagers for the first time, I don't coach. I don't look to abolish limiting beliefs in pro bono. I just want to meet them, build rapport, break the ice, because I need them to lean in. Every single person today, Dale, Taylor, and Katie leaned in. And then I lean in. If Katie leans out, what do? I lean out. And the same rule
I
applies to
breastfeed, but
sales.
I'm still on a coaching
They
program.
have to lean in. And so if they're
Uh-uh.
not leaning in, just lean out. It's all about energy. And so also too, you would have noticed something a little bit different with Katie is I fell a little bit into mentor mode. So when it comes to coaching, coaching is about asking questions to break down the belief system or reframe. Mentoring is to, teach and guide a little bit. So what I did with Katie is I brought up the idea of boundaries because I knew, and I know Katie well now from when we first met. She really appreciates when I lead a little bit more. And so I gave her the idea of boundaries. Did we all see that? Yeah, if you type in yes, if you saw that, I didn't coach her to come up with the idea of boundaries. I just told her. So once again, that comes with understanding how your prospects or clients work with you. Some clients need very direct approach. Other clients need you to be a little bit more softer. Other clients are like go-getters. They don't need coaching. Just tell me what to do, Lanita, and I'm going. So everyone's different inside TCA. I'm a little bit softer with Katie and Taylor, but then we have Raz. Who knows Raz? Does anyone know Raz? One of our coaches in America, coaches young teenagers. Awesome guy. He wrapped his car in teen coaching branding. I don't know if you've used it. Anyway, side point. Raz is like very masculine. And he's like, Lanita, just tell me what to do. I'm like, cool. I don't break down Raz's limiting beliefs. I just tell him what to do and he goes. So as coaches, it's not just the strategy of what to say, it's how you best understand your clients in the approach. Do you need to be in more of your feminine energy? And for the men in the room too, you will need that. You'll need to tap more into the feminine approach with some of your clients, or do you need to be a little bit more masculine? You won't know until you go through pro bono phase and you learn more about your clients. Awesome. So once again, it's not just what to ask them and break down the belief. You got to figure out if it's more coach mode. Do I mentor? Am I a little bit more direct? And the levels of maturity, emotional maturity with teenagers matter. So side note, for your younger ones, I'm more mentor. I'm more use the manual, give them stuff to do. The older ones, anywhere between 15 to 18 plus, I'm more in coach mode. They like to talk to me and unpack limiting beliefs. If I know a parent is very resistant, I don't coach. I just make them, play hard to get a little bit and get them to lean in. I'm probably way softer with mums than I am with dads. And I just need to figure out the approach. Is this all really helpful too, by the way? Type in helpful. Um, I've naturally attracted a lot of men that do tend to sit in their feminine a little bit around wanting to be nurtured. They nurture their wives, they nurture their daughters, and so they do appreciate more of my softer tone. But that comes from experience, okay? That doesn't come from a manual. That comes from you learning about yourself as a coach, paying attention and doing more coaching calls. And when in doubt, ask. Hey, Taylor. Hey, Dale. Hey, Katie. Do you want me to coach you through it right now? Or do you want me to just tell you what to do? So when in doubt, if you don't know how to read the room, When in doubt, just ask. Do you want me to give it to you straight, or do you want me to coach you through it? Awesome. Take that approach as well, because sometimes we misread the room. And I know I've done that before. A big mistake I made in the beginning is I thought someone was ready for my direct love and they weren't. And then I broke rapport and it hurt the relationship a little bit. So when in doubt, if you're not sure, ask for permission before you share a bit of tough love. Cool? Because you don't want to scare the kids or parents away. Alrighty, what a great segment. Oh my gosh, congratulations to all three of you. Was that valuable? I haven't done that in a very long time in terms of coaching live in front of a room. So thank you for gifting me with the opportunity. Learning how to coach has a place. Okay, so it is a particular skill set. I'm mindful that we naturally do it in conversations, but when you have the structure, it does give you a lot of confidence. And when you think of your credibility, when you think of your certainty, your credibility and your competence, that will lead to your certainty as well. So if you feel like you're lacking a little bit in being competent as a coach, that's why we have practitioner. Because in Henry's case, Henry worked with kids for years, but he still didn't feel competent as a coach. He was a teacher and a tutor. He knew math, but he didn't know how to coach. And a lot of his kids, they weren't executing with the math because we realized that they had a mindset problem. And Henry just didn't know how to coach them through mindset. He was really in traditional tutoring. So in Henry's case, he didn't use everything inside practitioner, but he did learn the method on how to coach. And he found that's what really helped from a delivery point of view. So Henry stayed in a one-to-one model for a very long time. Now he has groups on the back end, but we mastered it. We fixed the one-to-one model. Because very similar with Renee, Henry tried to go into a tutoring, scaling groups model, and things were breaking. We came back to one-to-one, help him get better as a coach, increase his prices. And same with Renee, he was landing 10K to 12K clients over a 12-month period just by going through the re-sign model. Now, he also had to work through his money stories though. So this has a place. You know, parents, he had this limiting belief parents in the UK don't have money. And you think parents in your country don't have money? Everyone's thinking the same thing. Henry's like, the United Kingdom, parents won't pay here. I said, well, let's try, let's test it. And we did, and it worked. Not everyone ascends, but we definitely proved the fact that he can do it because competence will also lead to certainty, which is exciting. And so with Henry's case, Henry was the coach. He was really good at what he did, but he sucked at systems. So if you're like that as well, type in me too. He just logistically, systems, marketing, leads, he just didn't want to deal with it. And I said, don't worry, you don't have to deal with it. We got to plug in something that's going to help you. So Henry wanted to be the face. And then what we did, we brought Henry's wife in, Sam, and Sam became more of the operations. And we attached a VA team to help Sam. And so they were like more into the nitty gritty. So let's say you don't have a Sam, that's all right. You don't need a Sam, but you might need a VA team to support you. So Henry was able to just be out there, heads in the clouds, be the visionary, while we attach the systems over here. So that's if you just don't want to run the systems, but someone has to run it. All right, and that's where the VA team definitely comes in. But Henry and Sam are another example of being in my world well over 2 to 3 years, and they crossed six figures as well in the United Kingdom when he thought originally no one would pay. Reverse engineer. Let's say you want to make $6,000 per month. That's the target. Now, assuming you charge $2,000 a month and they pay in full, you need 3 pay in full clients per month. Okay, give or take. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Okay, 3 clients, that means from a pro bono point of view, you probably need at least, just from a conversion point of view, You need anywhere between 5 to 7 pro bonos per month because not every pro bono converts right away. Okay. Some convert in the beginning, others wait, which means to get 5 or 7 pro bonos saying yes, you will need at least 10 consults per month, free consults. Okay. So see how we reverse engineer the goal? You need to know your target so we know how much the numbers are. And then that way you're not shooting the arrow and just hoping for it to land. You know exactly where you're shooting the arrow now. Now, 10 consults, that means roughly in a month at a cold level, because this is where you're all going to grow eventually. You're going to get into cold leads and Facebook leads and all that good stuff with our help inside practitioner. You need anywhere between 50 to 100 conversations per month. I know that might sound like a lot right now because you're probably almost doing nothing, but this is the bottleneck for a lot of you. And that's where you're getting stuck. In the beginning, you can get away of neglecting this because you know people, but over the next 2 to 3 years, you will need to now have this volume because that's just the reality of building online. If that's fair to say, once again, type in fair for me. Now, you might be thinking, how on earth do I get 50 to 100 conversations per month? That's what we teach you inside practitioner. You grow your audience, you hire a virtual assistant, your VA. Your VA finds these people and talks to them with you. That's not a lot, okay? That, like, from a weekly point of view, what is that per month? Let's just go with 50 for a moment. 50 divided by 4, that's about 12 to 15 conversations per week. Easy. That VA handles it for you, or you do it, okay? I don't mind if you don't have a VA, but someone's got to do it. Assuming you overcome your emotional journey around being seen, we get you online, you have 12 to 15 parents talking to you every week. Not everyone moves, okay? So as you can see, from this number, it then drops. From 50 to 100, drops to 10. Every month, we're just rotating. From 10, 5 to 7 say yes to pro bono. You learn your sales, you do your thing. Out of 5 to 7, 3 say yes. And then that's where you meet your metrics, give or take, paid in fulls. Is this helpful to see the process reverse engineered? Let me know. Math is the love language of your business. Math is the love language of sales. Now, don't worry. Most of us suck at this in the beginning. I don't expect you to be good at this. Now you notice, or now you may realize that I actually need a lot of help with this. And it's uncomfortable because we love to be good at things and we love to, have things easy. But just to reassure you, this is what we can help you with. Not only coaching, but also getting the math right. So what was an aha moment for you? Let me know. What's a good lesson? Was it the 10 consults a month? Was it the fact that you're not talking to enough people per week? Where's the biggest bottleneck for you right now? Was it even just the math in general? Talk to me in the chat. That's the reality. Get the math right. Plug in a VA if you want a bit of help, and then you reverse engineer. Last month, we have Sue, one of our other practitioners. Last month, her VA, we've been training her VA for a good 9 months now. It's been a while. Actually, probably more. But last month, her VA booked her 14 calls without Sue being in the inbox. Sue doesn't like to be on Facebook a lot. She certainly doesn't want to be in the DMs. So we had to train her VA. But that's awesome, right? These people don't know Sue. They've never met her in person. They're literally parents from Facebook. So if that's inspiring, type inspiring for me. Sue was someone that was quite new in our world. She didn't have a lot of experience coaching teens. She actually doesn't even come from a teaching background. She came from a life coaching background, and this has been working for her. So just want to reassure you, it's just math and strategy that we've got to work around, and just give it time. It's just a matter of when, not if. Cool. Yeah, awesome, isn't it? But definitely love the breakdown. So Numbers are good for you. And in Taylor's case, she's also going to give it to her VA.
The first time I saw how many conversations were required, I was like, oh my God, that's so many. But seeing it now, my reaction was, that's really not that much.
Yeah, definitely from a per week perspective. Yeah. Well, with the help of your VA, of course. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, thank
Yeah.
God for my VA. Doing
Yeah.
it myself would be a different story.
So that's just something, once again, thank you for that feedback around. Remember, this is a slow burn for all of you. You'll need time to wrap your head around things. And as I said, we got time. 3 years is a long time. I know it probably will go quick, but you have a good 6 months now until the end of the year to wrap your head around the model, start practicing things. I want you to be ready for 2027. Like, plans and preparations have to start within the next quarter, not when the new year starts, because you want to be prepared for the new year. You want some like income coming in and traction coming in and leads. So let's say, for example, I'll give you scenario number one. Let's say you don't have time. You don't have capacity. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. You don't have time or capacity to take on clients. No worries. But what you do have capacity for is either you take what I teach you to grow the list, or you hire a VA, and VAs can get paid $3 an hour. We hire starting at $3 an hour. We hire them, very cost effective, and they go find leads for you. So if that's all you did for the next 6 months, you'll start new year on a strong database, which puts you well ahead of the pack that don't even have leads. Is that cool to see? Let's say you just didn't have any capacity for leads, calls. At least you grow the database with the intent of a wait list, and then you can open up your calendar next year. Or you can just take one call a month if you really wanted to. But this is your insurance policy that a lot of you are not doing. So don't worry if you don't have the time and you don't want to take clients on now. That's okay. But what I won't get you to do, I don't encourage you to stop altogether. At least build the leads list. If that was great for you to hear today, type great for me. I can guarantee almost everyone in the room don't have this going. This is literally on semi-autopilot. Either you or a VA. Awesome. At $3 an hour. And they only need 1 hour a day. So what is that per week? That's $15 a week to build your business. You tell me. That's probably cheaper than how many coffees? $15 a week to build your database for not only this year, but for next. Man, you're well ahead of a lot of people that just don't, not that they just don't do it, they don't know how to do it. And that's what the VA course will give you, Insight Practitioner. And yeah, some of you are seeing that in real time. And where are they coming in from? Facebook friends. Add friends. You don't even have to talk to them just yet if you don't want to. Like, there are a few people that we weren't talking before. Now we are now in Taylor's profile, but just add friends. Let them simmer. They'll watch you with content, etc. And then you open up whenever you want. So there's a couple of things too around this. You play the rules. If you don't want to take consults, you're going on holidays, you're not well, etc., close down your calendar, and then I'll help you, or the VA will help you market a wait list. Don't worry, we can also plug in a VA, which will change their life too, by the way. My VA's lives have changed over the years. Eventually you increase their pay, you give them bonuses, they grow so much personally as well. One of our VAs bought a new home, and you're like, wow, I get to be part of that. Buying new land in Philippines. I'm like, that's incredible. And I love the Filipino culture. They're great workers. They have great work ethic, very loyal. Treat them right, they'll give you 110% back. The model doesn't change. The numbers or the capacity will change depending on your targets. But do not change the model. You might want to throw digital products in at one point, or group coaching, but the model remains the same. Relentless comes back to that relentless, sharp focus. Don't touch something that's not broken. And success can be a little bit boring sometimes. You want to get a bit playful. Get playful in your personal life. Don't get too playful with your business. Who needed to hear that today? Type in me, because variety is a human need. And if you get bored in your career, but things are working, sometimes you can sabotage your business because you're bored. When in reality, just go get it, go on holiday, go on dates, go find a new hobby, go feed your need for variety outside of your business. Love that. Dale's on it. Okay, cool. So that was the money model that I wanted to share with you. Huge congratulations because you made it till the end. Was it worth it? Type, or you don't have to, you can obviously you're going to tell me what I want to hear, but I hope it was worth it for you all staying until the very end. Yeah, I love it, Taylor. Couple of things that I want to do is make sure you're all good in terms of executing. So I want you to write down your action list. Okay, so like go through your notes, highlight whatever you need to highlight, but just think about if you were to come up with your three, like next 1 to 3 action items from today's session, I want you to solidify that first before you get off today. If you're happy with that, type in happy for me. Don't walk away and not process things. I need you to go walk away with some action items. It could be a content post. It could be increase your price. It could be watching the recording back again. I don't mind. It could be moving things around to join practitioner, whatever it is. Cool.